Hiding Khotning Dima, the Mabuk the Ditamdana, such at Heta Hidopa, at the corner, Mayamna Ding Hakadi war over the corner D, Masiamna, straightforward Oiba. Mabuk Ninda, Loktuk Lokoi later, Dugumba, Misak Amani, Aduna. Magna Lake Davasi, not only Uripo constituency, the Natana, Hoyi State Sigisu, Soba. Menkatpang Maroido Dugumba, Bekam Amal, Horabani, Hadanai, Sumaina Tamzage, Si Salam, Zain Tukumar, Yamna Nakna Di Koi Nakshan Nabagi, Tanza, Agas House, leader represent Obama Tamdu the Koi, cannot Tokite, Adu Mahachi Su Yamna grassroot key, social worker Hibatare, Yamna Singda, Tamda, or Ruelda Arbanda Maasi Yamna Asiangba, a true social worker Hibatare. At my Todana Mahang Sisu Tanga Assembly Constituency Sidagi represent Tobidna Agas Housigi member Biramba Siri Salam Zain Tukumana Laikitabasi, the Koi Punamaki Mangjabani, Haidana is my Tamzage Aduga Muhammad Samudin. Akoi Mayam Punamagna Kangnare, Akoi Manipur Sida Laibiriba, minorities is now Singsi, Muhoi House Sida represent Tonanaba Hotnabada. Why minority Hibashidi, I wonder pilt over the D, I did Moidasu Hek, Pagitova Hagadrakari Haini. No even minority is Kanana Harino. Minority Haigano ID Yanning Day, a koi Karik never lay, Manipurda lay Minari Vase. The minority Haibasidi ID High behind the Danoi, Hairakanoona in Hek Pagito. The Moina Haizabana population ratio, Yengba Aduga Agas Housey represent Tonana but Hotnabada, Kendra Singsta, and Haisani Magi community the Heta Yenger Pegi Fibama. Labor Corporation, minorities ki representatives si Agas House leader represent Tonana si arrived the Natava. Adumatam Punamakta, a koi Central State Labor say, Masida Koina dum Yengomatam the Su koi democracy set per Paxida, proportionate representation Toba Habitare, minorities ki, women ki. Aduga Ladiba Mayam Singsi, Puna participate Tonarkan, the Wakansi, oh, Equi Amata, where I have see. I will more represent Todragana Quaker, told the Hajabagi one at the Aduna. Sumai Todra minorities, Gidamakta Sakotna, but Tobiram Bahabatare, like Hidraba, Hesamudin Agas House, a Sikisu member, Birambana, like Hitabata, Agas House, there is soon white. Pongdoksari Aroi Bada Sri Laikhidraba Sergio Lashom Ibom Sasing Mayamnasi Hen Kangbirabani Mahasi Horpada Magi career Degi Hona Agas House Degi haukiba haiba tare August House dagi hauna under secretary oina August House da matam sangna service tawbiramba adudagi mathang sum lakpaduna Manipur Sarkar gi law gi secretary oiramna Sarkar da su matam dugi legal advice piba yaba piraba matungda mahak Samthong Assembly constituency gi representative oibidna tongan ba status ta thabak tawbiramba haiba tare yamna nungai ba haiba tare August House sidaida represent tawbidna mahak adum opposition da leijaraga su any lepak sigi any issues state sigi issues lakpa kanda da adum August House da hogatna sida sini legal matter da sini haibna singba akhoi mayam da mit na kong woina da ba haiba tare madu 100% sumba yai sumdaba yai adu orga su akhoi punamakki yamna knowledgeable loiba haiba tare adugumba house sigi disnatana mahakna laikidaba sidaida Samthong Assembly constituency gi oina more particularly haiba tare aduga Manipur gi su oina asoba menkhatpa ngamaroi doba adugumba bhekam mama lehuragani haiduna ai thamjari aduna amamamtagi tongan na haidraga su laikhidraba social worker sing samaj gi leader sing aduga hanagi kai khunajariba governor Manipur governor oibiramba Sri Asni Kumar na laikhidaba sida magi imung manung awaba tahawrba imung manungi member sing da oi sona mapangan happy bo osinu mogi imung manungi awaba da yaksu through this August House saruk yajari haibai wafam kharsi thamjari
matangda wafam khar thambigadaba Sri P. Sarchandra Singh, Honorable Member, Moirangesi.
Honorable Speaker, sir, Sri Jayanta Kumar, Thanga Assembly constituency da matam khara MLA oina adugi matungda muksu minister gi capacity da ya thamoi se na masung ingna tapna lebaki seba torba adugumba aikoi leader ni aikoi khongang da leijaba Thanga Kumbi Wangu Moirangi matmadu da di leader singsi yamna maru oiba masung praja singbu makoina luchingbo ina pubiraga aikoi mateng pangbiramba lebaki phanaba tawbiramba dumba mi singi marakta atangba leader mani yamna dissent toiba sauthokpa leitaba tapna ngangba mahak sei khoigidi luchingba singi marakta pioneer mani aduga Alhaj Hesamudin Moirang Kendra gi representative oina MLA oina lebaki sewa tawbiramba danatana mahak minister su oina tabak tawbirambani Maxi, he's a thorough gentleman. Auchel yamna chauba, mayang mateng pangningba, adu yamna tawing oiba dumba personality ma sina Moirangi especially Loktak region sida lakamatam da mayam si unaba matamda. Mayam sina mabo ay koigi masak naiba, yam magun leiba sumak na haibada makoy ni yatpangamdaba adu makalgi. Larik yam na haibani pa manatragasu madugi leadership quality yauba dumba leader ni. In fact, he guided me aigi political career formation da aigi seishu na dumba lerakpa adumba aigi leader ni. Aina mahakbo aigi guru aigi philosopher ni aina hektatana mayam da tamje. Aroibara aina panjani basi Sri Eli Bomcha mahak aikoi punna Manipur Sarkar gi thabak tawringaida mahakna law secretary oina leiba akuna administrative service ta leiba matamda aikoi punna thabak tawmindarambani akoi leader of the opposition na habi ki bidumaina mahak si mayamda mahak ki wakalon especially legal expertise ado phajana siznarkanda mayamgi mateng pamba adugum makhalgi learned person amani makoi sigumba mathik chaba aikoi gi leaders sina aikoi bu thadok lamlaga sangsar sidagi sakhibase masi aikoi landam asigi aikoi jati goina mangbani makoi gi atmana sargar santi oina lesson o harakanda tang sitenji
Mathangda Honorable Member Sri T. Rovindrus.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Ngasigi officer references da Asni Kumar, koi former Governor Manipur, Lesramnanda Kumar Singh, Salam Janta Kumar, Hesamdin, Lesam Ibamcha, koi August House member Bilamba. Mayam Silay Kidabada Ehakna Moito Puncturia Duga, Mako Imunawa, but I hack so Yazari Duga Mako Atmana is showing Pamda Santu Nuaya Pendrabo, Sumay Hagna, Hagna, showing from the Hajari Duga. Mayam Simarada I get tank and Reda Matamon the Lido Bilamba. I guess you sa Tinazaki Bakoi I give Mama Salam Jantumagi Matanga Hak Agas South Hak from Kading Tamjage Hariba Salam Jantumasi 1944 da Kogi Ibu Bok Salam Domal Adoga Mag Mama Pagi Niktojan Dingol Salam Ongbi Anjau Bigi Matsatarit Poke Manung da Kogi Mama Zintasina Ani Shuba Masani Akogi Dikoi Tang in the sea Sagai Matarukakna Unata Libanina Kosi Mari Matasi Amana Sum Hek Imag side Iboki side Yanomatam the Koi Chinese Hine. Hek I Poxi Pasi Ikuranta Ibaju to a head. The white of the Kogi Mama Zentima Pako Ibukta Malgi Anishuba Masari Maxi 1959 da Ukulda Tolo Academy Magi class 10 pass Taukidoga 1960 da Koi DM College Matamdugi Hajikna Kogi Danamanju University Haiba Saista Mahak Maki Kogi PUC Koi intermediate Hajikna Kogi class 11-12 ki Masiming Chalakanda Maxi DM College Tami Matumda da Kogi Assembly ki Demand Coordination Committee ki Education Namal Agutam da Maxi Student Life Orientam da Magna Leader among the Laki Buduna Magna de the Mark Education da Mark so Yarbudigi Maxi. He was caught by the police and he was put behind the bar. After the class 11 gi exam silag the much exam jail the marks exam thabas marks magi class 11 gi exam si mark jail mark exam thaki the mark then college the mark intermediate 11 to silu shalaga 1966 ta Gauti University की मार्क ग्रेजुएशन लो किए दुआ 1969 द महाक मागी पीजी पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन सी पॉलिटिकल साइंस ता लो सलामतु द मासे कोई थंग केंद्र दा लई मतम दे हाई स्कूल मासे हो जाओइना लेरमी दुगा 1977 to अकोई थंग केंद्र सी कुंभी केंद्र गा अपन बोइना ACM to let me. At the 1972 size the Kogi tank and the Sikum weekend separate talk partisan talk Matung de Gidi Magna Hybrid School assistant headmaster when resigned or Mark Rasnity fill the contact Duga 1972 the Mahagna election Tenontam the Mahak he got defeated and lost Matanda the Kogi by election among like matam the mid term polak padegi by election 1974 the magna mutina kan the maxi ngasi August house siki mag member mo bengki mat koi khadi board ki KBI bigi chairman su matum kha oremi adim tung the maxi hi Minister of State oin na koi agriculture the mag koi Thopurimi, Leba Kisaba Dobinami, Mana August House member Matamna Mahagna, Praza Miamdi, Mam Tamamarch, the whole entire assist the government's school Amtang Labasi, Praza Tineba, Mana Legishugi Matam, the education sector, the Manayamna, Dr. Baru. Government high school among the labor in the Magna like it be Magna high school Muslim Lincoln Mana Peggy Mayanpal AC some Mana Matamdugi 1976-78 ki PW work program hapana akoigi mayang musung thangken gi marak sida kogi chingma cham cham lei muga manda chingthi haba ma haibjing si mahangna kogi 1976-78 ki work program da haba ganda singling haba gi thaba ko GSB thaba thak tor kanda praja miyang golena na koi mayang phal siga kogi Mayang Palgi Paramo in a lady Bakomla Kong Tang as a Samnaga, Manchat Lambel Adam Layram. I do sing to Lake with the instinct Hagna, boat Pamatam, boat card in campaign to Mutam, I was in boat card to the Maga, 20 things about Matadaman Hagibasi. Hasik Mayang Pal. Akoi si maris na 1978 ayang work program da hapana kona mayam praja mayam bulone na kona lambel sabi ko piyam da kan torombani adubu ma aina podcast matung de gidi khoi gi matung de lapa leaders na khoi kemda thawa tha da hai ga tra ma tong da neglect ng laikre adana na ngasi boycott pasai na na aina mangsil ba maglan thang ken gi praja mayam na pami thang da nik praja tan na koirang thangba site jo samprong gi site singthana koi kakching gi chatke na to thabal chatke na more se kai madam da they to travel more than 7-8 kilometers adu high ba lambil sakira di moina kakching si kilometer trawa da thau sene kilometer da mani yoga mayam praja phang oi gi do bani thang koi thang di matam da koi namarang na kor cham tam da 50 km changi adu high level sakita di koi 31 km imphal yoga do bani high level se already the PWD kan na to sele bani aro nang na si kai matam jang na kan to basi yamna phagani na takpi eduka mana ngonda mu high basi you walk slowly but you never walk back tap na chalu ga tung halag de sung chat kanu wan chat pa hu lip kanu hai na man sung kanu takpi lamba ina ka bung ngam da ba wa pun ka sui jai ma ga si mabuk tappa usel sengba masai ojo thi da ba thang ke de sing sing marak ta khwadi atangba leader mani hai ko thang pa da sing asi bau soneri mahakna hokba sahi 2020 के अक्टूबर को नथुर लेखी दबदा थांगे केंद्र की प्रजा मियामना मारी आइगे बथियाना युद्धों खुदिंगी मैरा कत्तना मागी आत्मा शांति स्वयं फंदा शांति ने लेना बा कोई थांग प्रजा मियामना कोई की मार्क्सी क्या कि अधिक मतिक मा पुसेल सिंबा मसाई ओजो खंद बमियो काई ओगी हाइबु मा हजिक लेइदो मागी युमसी ka ongi malay lay kasi almost 0.3 guba 2.5 gumba magi jagani jumjiki natna jumchek ko nabi ko machet ama masagi car jeep kaimta leite haiba limbel si sem kuna sem ba harum tam de magna magi emiro bagi all pe amagi emiro bagi pencil phang baju tha magi agi pencil bu is the katho bne na haina mana thang bajan man kathoki ajhai to ba pusel sing ba ing tapa adum ba misik amani mak se do magna lekhi da bada magi atmana isokho khada ningai yai phana ing chikna santino lebe orsin waina ehak ni sumam da thongjari prarthana tawjari aduga mai manungi wa badse an so yajari hai pham khaji thamjaraga yak tension jarge masigi ayu matam kha pe bigi damak honorable speaker ehak nam kana thagachari thank you.
Next, honorable member K.S. Wilson.
Honorable Sir, nasigi operative reference pibas hangna akoigi legidraba honorable MLA ani kimtangda sitang panjage ahan badra legidraba pabung jilacham nanda kumar magi matang lekitang panjage pabung nanda kumar si aige ken khangna badan natana yamna su nakna loina ba aduga magi mawng to su yana khangjaba ai maga yamna naksan nabdi 2012 ki election karakpagi khan narakpani to last 2017 ki matungda ai ga pamung se hena naksin re party supulak baduga idea suggestion ken thangna bagi matungi na bagi similar problem lakpa aduna ngalaitana dum pagi bani dum idea exchange tongni apa wa kolon me am so ko pibi yam nungai ba bana pabung si lo maramda yakhang ba aduga MLA ojri ba ko shu lo me kan hai bani na lo khang da ba ya to matang la kan pabung na koida yam lam pibi ko gi 2017 lai ba ki bidagi mangna election mai ti sakra ga su koina assembly da pukhat pa sing se man TV da yam to ene yenga akhoi asoi aram si je sesal kan ta phone to akuna na sai to tu soire si ni ha bisam takbi bai ta aduga mana log expert na ko log mar da pa la ri ka se ko present to bi na ma ko flex helaga point wise pi ha ta aduna ma si legi da bi da aga South ki Manipur yami mangjab na tana ai sama ke su ai ngonda inot piba encourage to wa mamal yam laba khogi lamjim lam ta piba adu bhal ma mangi bani ne logse aduna Sri Lakshmana Kumana tomba tabak to mam ki man le ba ki torba arumai wakhalon me adu di aga South sila loina libana su kana roi ngasi leader of the house opposition leader me am to end na me apan bigre aduna ehang na pabung sinanda kumana leki da mag halaman mag imu nungi macha masu leori mani mata sagai na tai singna phangor awab do ehang saruk ya jari haina phundok jari akon bada Sri Lasham Ibom Zasing akoi ki South scheme member sang oi biramba law secretary oi biramba har te gang dana leki daba hayeng simagi jaradin ni aduna magi daba si yam phajadana lei da bhai tare akoi yam active oina matam gre mamang da leirambani akoi covid ki lagpas da masu sok pan nagi patum ma che theng bang bane na mai leki dab si relate to ina da ta jai imung manunga thona bada akoi gi sila shom ibom sa se en ka ka mas me how ge sum ko ge ta ana ka bom da wang da ma se ya thun du ngang ge thu ngang ba ga loina na ma se au ku te chu ya ma thu pa da ki sing hai ta re discussion am tro ngotam da ma se yang witi oi do ta ko di selo ba tu di selo idea se mon yam dai mayam punamangna meeting tawa natraga kanagumom loins bagi ko mayam punbag to discussion to ko da mayam na u vision dugi tungan ba madugi lol putok bangam base she lai som bo sa amane no we any house da frontier ta ko le na pusu house at belt ko bills kang dia makan plakanda madura lu hol ka le ba aduga mama samang na lo sector mo lo nan sam khang mani na madugi lu hol point out to bangam se ma si singthan ho mi ho mani ko lo maker or ga su lo yam khang mi or ga su akoi ki asoi bi sing khang da mi su yam le tu si la samai bom sa na madu point out to bangam se ma si ma ko ma se mamang su pang le dong man de tung su kaya lakani thajati masu ko malay maki ko ani subu da mase akoi gi emere singsida yam na ngasai su adum honorable member mu su pandire akoi masi rulung opposition 20 da mas akoi le sing house labor member sing samana have mongda masu dum pasna tawba inside the house or gadi ai opposition pambe duty tawni ita so outside the house di we are all friends kabe mong da padana leiba am tam janinga we ba mahpom ni adong nga sa masi another second thing my point na masi joli we na lebangam ko imai stani kanu da ma nungai thukna live si da tam janinga we ba ko gi yam joli we da mi we pun chi sang tu ika mong da tu gi wakal mong da labor lai tab khangte am tam janinga we masi election handak selai bakti bedagi mas my tigres madum joli le I will fight again have mota mangon da fighting le magi spirit just one handi aduna magi le dab sida manipur niam atang ba manipur gi papari mamang ne lokje ado aga sosi da su magum gi ama la aga mangon da le ramba man bayamna akoi opposition da famakan ruling da soi tar puriyama struck full of attack to usi bangna lakani thajate aduna ogi kaka la shami bom jan lai kitab da mag imu manung magi lai riba anti masa sing punamangna man puri awa to aksu sab yaw chari hedun ayna thamri thank you
Next, Shri Jokumar Singh, Honorable Deputy Singh.
Sir, I will obituary reference that I used to participate on Tanjapi with I Thakchari. Masiki obituary reference that you always see eminent person Mangagini Asuni Kumar. See Asuni Kumar si Sesu Panbigre 1973 IPS officer ni Tasina Maga associate to see aina sahi nipan BSF ta central deputation leading in tamda akoi thengrakpa aduga toina saminrakpa toina discussion tongrakpa maromda matamdugi lemba central deputation da 1972 73 74 75 76 si akoi na 76 ni si mayam si adum center da discussion tongminba khominaba adumai tongna yamna associate tokoni adu Reski DGP Ubukan, that is from 2006 to 2008. I issue and the 2007 DGP when a sub Matamda annual conference of DGP and the IGP conference. It a tatana thing about Admatorga, Pinegiba, Adugas idea Mayama, vision Mayama, share to Miniki Adugumba of Saramani. Adu the Sunatana CBA Director Obamatam. I personally adum khangna baina kogi darka leba matamda Delhi da sapa matamda adum thengna dana kuna dana admai tongna tomina pa adugumba obsani as a person yamna simple oiba easily approachable oiba aduga ever willing to help kanoda my colleague natraga junior officer natraga mayam adu natana public community singsu help tawba adugumba willingly tawba aduman tawba adugumba kanoni officer mani mark Kitabada, Tashin Habida, Kogi, Amron Haitagadi, police fraternity Gidi, yamna chawba amangba mani haibisi ai thamjage aduga loina government of kanu India gi su oina ma leramba mana sabtumba by experience mayam leramba maduna gat to we abagi opportunity mayam lebudo mal khidabda istabu seda koi punamki awaba ngai tabani haibisi mathamjage Sri Laishan Kumar Singh Tasina Pasina Taman Kumar Haina Maga Yeluna Kusi I deputation Matamdagi Adum Itatanadum Amamda Masi Aino represent to Jeriba Uripo Kendrigi I Mamanga Pana represent to the money but a moment that Aina Sabistele politics joint to Gagi Wakalbau Matamda Ma Itata Pounder particularly Manipugi Dana, particularly Uripo Kendrigi, Karitoya, Karai, the Karitoxia, Kochi, Havisi, can Itana, I want to Maga, Tanaga, Konaga, Ain Soup, Apama, Copa, Sima, Oxy, Kochiana, Admaiton, Tanaga, Tomnerpa, Admaiton, can say, listen, Lerga, Kanaga Laminaba, Adu Missamani, Mark later with up, Manipugi, the Sinai Tagadi, he was one of the Kariani mature politician, adugo magi experience, magi ngasai panbi koi honorable members in magi legal background lebab, adugo experience lebo me amno, madugi kanabo me amama. This August House na su mana, me, adu ibudi matam tu leitam ni na kangre du me amna ngasi panbedap the pin me aise so in pirang mani my particularly magi background du yenga adu dai tagidi koi gi kanon su honorable koi gi member of the house the kisnesu ma matam kunata adum pana member of this house natragesu karimam pol kanugi legal matter ma lapakan deida itata manas observation to na khotana kari soiba khopa kari lamjing ba khopa adugum tobi ba misak mani haibada tasengna soidana tongani aduga malekhi dabda ekoi this August house issue aduga pinga Manipur issue aduga particularly Uripo Kendra issue yamna chawa mangjaba mani haibisma thamjage atuga Sri Saladin Kumar aduga Hesaudin Sidi tasengna ina personally khangno bo yamna khangno bo natre aduna si matang dedi except for my later but no I to phongpa aduga my family no I to do madudeida aishu through this August house na aishu share to we have a si wafam si kaktan thamjage aduga even si album jasing khangna pai pire aina hek kanoda ai hana khangni karma matam ma ga thenagi gebsi 1989 gi da aina SP vigilance ngai matam adai da kanogi legal opinion bo khopa matam da ma law secretary na su law department le mi haina ningjing mai tong de mi haina ai ningjing je adu matam da discuss over matam da legal opinion gi kai matang de da yamna dum phajana khangba kopa adu yamna cooperative oiba adu kano su openly dum discussion to buya ba adu mi sakamo oiki tasengna thabada adu ga from time to time adum thengna ga khona ga ai na no da das masi kanodagi aina service telling edisu adum tinaraga kari kanogi any legal matter da aina kitang cham na balai matam da maga discuss da ban so mating pang ba adugumba mistake amani habi thamjage ma lekhi da su tasengna ma ki Manipur gi da mata aduga particularly ke samno gendri gi su yamna acho mangje ba mani habis mai thamjage asi thamlaga through Kanada honorable speaker ki sada sagi through that nasi mohi family sing like hidriba kamu sing family sing awabdo aishu awab mohi share toi duga like hidriba kamu sing sina mohi na Kanada like hidriba matunga Kanada da mohi atmana kana ingna pana leinaba koi ai prathana tori ai wafam chi thamjaga ai se losin jage aduga aroi bidam Mr. Speaker sir swaito na tamkhar pb dongta Speaker Sabu, I thank Pondicherry. Thank you.
Next, Honorable Member Govindas Konthaujam.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Ahanbada, Dr. Ashni Kumar, former Manipur Governor of Biramba, si yamna atienba matamgi 2013. ꯅꯃꯍꯥꯛ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯇꯝꯗꯣꯏ ꯃꯟꯇ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯖꯕꯅꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯁꯣꯐ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯣꯀꯟ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯚꯤꯖꯟ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯃꯤꯁꯤ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯌꯦꯡꯕꯗ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯈꯪꯒꯟꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯃꯤ ꯑꯃꯅꯤ ꯅꯣꯡꯃ ꯁꯇꯔꯗꯦ ꯑꯃ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯀꯧꯔꯒ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟꯕ ꯋꯥꯍꯪ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯩꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯍꯪꯕꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯏꯪ ꯇꯞꯄ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤꯡꯗꯨ ꯃꯨꯟꯅ ꯇꯥꯕꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯀꯣꯃꯦꯟꯗꯤ ꯄꯤꯗꯕ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯇꯥꯡꯕ ꯃꯤ ꯑꯃꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯒꯚꯔꯅꯔ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯤꯔꯝꯕ ꯗꯣꯛꯇꯔ ꯑꯁꯅꯤ ꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔꯁꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯊꯃꯣꯏꯗ ꯐꯥꯎꯖꯩ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗꯕꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯇꯅ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯖ ꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯍꯤꯃꯥꯆꯜ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯗꯦꯁꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯁꯤ ꯁꯨꯏꯁꯥꯏꯠ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯇꯅ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯨꯝꯕ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯁ꯭ꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯠ ꯐꯣꯔꯋꯥꯔꯗ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯚꯤꯖꯅꯔꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯏꯃꯤꯅꯦꯟ ꯄꯔꯁꯣꯅꯦꯂꯤꯇꯤ ꯆꯦꯟꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯕꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯥꯡꯖꯕꯅꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯥत्माꯅ ꯁꯥꯟꯇꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯂꯩꯅꯅꯕ ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯏꯁꯣꯔꯗ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯁꯥꯔ ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯀꯤꯗꯤ ꯄꯥꯕꯨꯡ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯀꯧꯖꯕ ꯎꯔꯤꯄꯣꯛ ꯀꯦꯟꯗ꯭ꯔꯕꯨ ꯑꯍꯨꯝꯂꯛ ꯍꯟꯅ ꯔꯤꯄ꯭ꯔꯖꯦꯟ ꯇꯧꯕꯤꯔꯝꯕ ꯄꯥꯕꯨꯡ ꯅꯟꯗꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯏꯃꯤꯅꯦꯟ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯏꯃꯤꯅꯦꯟ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯂꯣꯌꯔ ꯑꯃꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯃꯥꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯁ꯭ꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯠ ꯐꯣꯔꯋꯥꯔꯗ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯊꯃꯣꯏꯗ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯋꯥꯁꯤ ꯂꯣꯠꯂꯒ ꯊꯝꯗꯕ ꯍꯦꯛꯇ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯣꯛꯄ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯇꯧꯖꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯁꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯖꯥꯅ ꯋꯥꯔꯧꯗꯅꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯈꯔ ꯂꯩꯁꯤ ꯂꯩꯇꯣꯟ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯁꯥꯎꯗꯅꯕꯒ ꯉꯥꯡꯕꯁꯤ ꯍꯩꯕ ꯃꯤ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯗꯕ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯁ꯭ꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯠ ꯐꯣꯔꯋꯥꯔꯗ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯊꯃꯣꯏꯗ ꯌꯥꯔꯣꯏꯗꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯁꯤ ꯃꯥꯕꯨ ꯋꯥꯔꯧꯕꯒꯁꯤ ꯃꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯊꯃꯣꯏꯗ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯋꯥꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯣꯛꯄꯅꯤꯅ ꯀꯨꯏꯅ ꯋꯥꯔꯧꯕꯤꯔꯝꯒꯗꯧ ꯃꯥꯟꯗꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗꯕꯁꯤꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯇꯦ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯊꯃꯣꯏ ꯁꯣꯛꯅꯤꯡꯉꯥꯏ ꯑꯣꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯎꯔꯤꯄꯣꯛ ꯀꯦꯟꯗ꯭ꯔ ꯈꯛꯇꯒꯤꯗ ꯅꯠꯇꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯀꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯑꯆꯧꯕ ꯃꯥꯡꯖꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛ through this August House ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯏꯃꯨꯡ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯑꯋꯥꯕꯗꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯁꯔꯨꯛ ꯌꯥꯖꯔꯤ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯄꯥꯕꯨꯡꯒꯤ ꯑꯥत्मा ꯁꯥꯟꯇꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯂꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛꯇ ꯇꯤꯟꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯁꯅꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛ ꯏꯁꯣꯔꯗ ꯈꯨꯔꯨꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯁꯥꯔ ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯑꯪꯀꯜ ꯖꯌꯟꯇ ꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯆꯝꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯁꯥꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯖꯕ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯑꯪꯀꯜ ꯖꯌꯟꯇ ꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔꯅ ꯔꯤꯄ꯭ꯔꯖꯦꯟ ꯇꯧꯕꯤꯔꯝꯕ ꯀꯦꯟꯗ꯭ꯔ ꯍꯥꯡꯒꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ MLA ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤꯈꯤꯕꯗꯨꯅꯤ ꯃꯁꯥꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯖꯕ ꯊꯤꯗꯕ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯆꯝꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯦꯛꯁ MLAꯅꯦ ꯀꯥꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤ ꯃꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯈꯟꯗꯕ ꯏꯆꯝ ꯆꯝꯕ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯖꯥ ꯑꯃꯗꯧꯅ ꯈꯟꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯂꯤꯗꯔ ꯑꯃꯅꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛ ꯍꯥꯡꯒ ꯀꯦꯟꯗ꯭ꯔꯒꯤ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟꯕ ꯆꯥꯎꯈꯠ ꯊꯧꯔꯥꯡꯒꯤ ꯂꯝꯗ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯖꯥꯒꯤ ꯑꯋꯥꯠꯄ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯃꯦꯟꯁꯤꯟꯕꯤꯔꯝꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯑꯆꯧꯕ ꯂꯤꯗꯔ ꯑꯃ ꯃꯥꯡꯈꯤꯕꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯥꯡꯖꯕꯅꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯥꯡꯖꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯊꯝꯖꯕꯒ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯏꯃꯨꯡ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯒꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯨꯝꯂꯕ ꯐꯣꯔꯃꯔ MLA ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗꯕꯗ ꯏꯃꯨꯡ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯒꯤ ꯑꯋꯥꯕꯁꯨ through this August House ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛ ꯁꯔꯨꯛ ꯌꯥꯖꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯁꯥꯔꯒꯤ ꯊ꯭ꯔꯨꯗ ꯊꯝꯖꯔꯤ ꯁꯥꯔ ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯁꯥꯔ ꯑꯪꯀꯜ ꯍꯦꯁꯥꯃꯨꯗꯤꯟ ꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯀꯥꯃꯤꯟꯅꯖꯕꯅꯤ 1995ꯗ ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯣꯏꯔꯥꯡ ꯀꯦꯟꯗ꯭ꯔꯒꯤ ꯔꯤꯄ꯭ꯔꯖꯦꯟ ꯇꯧꯕꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯁꯤ ꯃꯣꯏꯔꯥꯡꯁꯤ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔ ꯃꯣꯏꯔꯥꯡ ꯑꯦꯁꯦꯝꯕ꯭ꯂꯤ ꯀꯟꯁꯇꯤꯇꯨꯌꯦꯟꯁꯤꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤꯕꯒꯨꯝꯅ ꯃꯣꯏꯔꯥꯡꯁꯤꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯣꯛꯇꯥꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯇꯪ ꯃꯥꯏꯅꯣꯔꯤꯇꯤ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯀꯣꯛꯇꯥꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯨꯁꯂꯤꯝꯅ ꯗꯣꯃꯤꯅꯦꯠ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯑꯦꯔꯤꯌꯥꯅꯤ ꯃꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯇꯪ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯚꯣꯠ ꯀꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯕꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯣꯛꯇꯥ ꯃꯥꯏꯀꯩ ꯑꯁꯣꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯚꯣꯠ ꯀꯥꯔꯛꯈꯤꯕ ꯃꯤ ꯑꯃꯅꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯆꯝꯕ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯆꯝꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯔꯛꯄ ꯑꯃꯅꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛ LDAꯒꯤ ꯆꯤꯌꯔꯃꯦꯟ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯤꯔꯝꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯣꯛꯇꯥꯛ ꯀꯟꯅꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯕꯗ ꯑꯆꯧꯕ ꯗꯥꯏꯇ ꯂꯧꯕꯤꯔꯝꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯂꯤꯗꯔ ꯑꯃꯅꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗꯕꯗ ꯃꯥꯏꯅꯣꯔꯤꯇꯤ ꯀꯝꯃꯨꯅꯤꯇꯤꯒꯤꯗ ꯅꯠꯇꯅ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯖꯥ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯆꯧꯕ ꯃꯥꯡꯖꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯊꯝꯖꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯏꯃꯨꯡ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯒꯤ ꯑꯋꯥꯕꯗꯨꯗ through this August House ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯁꯔꯨꯛ ꯌꯥꯖꯔꯤ ꯁꯥꯔ ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯁꯥꯔ ꯂꯥꯏꯁꯣꯝ ꯏꯕꯣꯝꯆꯥ ꯁꯥꯔ ꯑꯍꯨꯝꯂꯛ ꯑꯅꯤꯔꯛ ꯚꯣꯠ ꯀꯥꯕꯤꯔꯝꯕ 2002 ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ 2012 ꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯂꯣꯒꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯤꯖꯅ ꯈꯪꯕꯤꯕ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯁꯔꯀꯥꯔꯒꯤ ꯂꯣ ꯁꯦꯀ꯭ꯔꯦꯇꯔꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯨꯕꯤꯔꯝꯗꯨꯅ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟꯕ ꯍꯤꯔꯝ ꯀꯌꯥꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯑꯦꯛꯇꯤꯚ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯏꯁꯨ ꯀꯌꯥꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯀꯝꯃꯨꯅꯤꯁ ꯑꯣꯏꯅꯁꯨ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯑꯦꯅꯤ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯈꯪꯖꯔꯤꯕꯗꯨ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯈꯪꯗꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯃꯤꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯂꯤꯕꯒꯤ ꯃꯍꯨꯠꯇ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ प्रजा ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯀꯤ ꯅꯥꯀꯣꯡꯁꯤ ꯌꯦꯡꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯑꯆꯧꯕ ꯂꯤꯗꯔ ꯑꯃꯅꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛ ꯃꯥꯡꯈꯤꯕꯁꯤꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ प्रजा ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯆꯧꯕ ꯃꯥꯡꯖꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯊꯝꯖꯕꯒ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯏꯃꯨꯡ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯒꯤ ꯑꯋꯥꯕꯗꯨꯁꯨ ꯁꯥꯔ ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛ ꯊ꯭ꯔꯨ ꯗꯤꯁ ꯑꯣꯒꯁ ꯍꯥꯎꯁ ꯁꯔꯨꯛ ꯌꯥꯖꯔꯤ ꯁꯥꯔ ꯋꯥꯐꯝ ꯈꯔꯁꯤ ꯊꯝꯖꯕꯒ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯁꯥꯔꯅ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯂꯕ इमिनेंट पर्सन मंगा सिगी ऑफिशियल रेफरेंस ता मतम खरा पीबी बगदम ता सार बो हांग थागसे थैंक यू
Next, Honorable Member T.S. Okesus.
Masigi official references da yakpu mutam khara pbi tai honorable speaker ko thagadari anbada Shri Dr. Ashwin Kumar, former Governor of Manipur. Singmatang da anbada thamjage serious Kumar se ega any speaker was hearing him da maga ega se matam khara thinga jawi 2013 da asi yam innocent oiba aduga yamna su chamba adu yem batakta na sagi aije toina kawing hak famine jana Saturday gumba degi hek shuti liberadin mamak masling ram kobi aduga mana kwai pam je khoi Manipur gi khoi maitai gi sangsang se yam pamba ai marak ta ni ma ga i samina ge jum gi pura ga jum da sapadi no mai trena aduga masi ai wonda ina sar kau kanda sar kau du eje badarun kau nang jai ga sak shwa pili mani ne sa su mani haidana taubi aduga ingwanda mana nungsi ba de kau bunga maro ba bas kra shu tawirami mana ingwanda habi bese eje younger badam hai nang ding khalal bani Lebaki law making body lady bam samani na saying speaker over say every member kudimak makoina pampunuk to house the expression to matam da maduda disturb to ganu aduga both ruling and the opposition su khai ganu sam and the men yenga au haina takbirami ai tapsana dum tawjegi adu sim batakta serious ni kuma se khoi gi Manipur gi kaching twe gi man da yam hange asagi any jati ko ni ki kano se khoi gi culture se dum hange patna yam na mana pam da ba se khoi Manipur gi sitli sare ba dress se yam pame adura khoi gi aina mugana saba khoi gi phayom set ama pi oi pi koi wang hai degi ma rani degi ai samuk chat laga leiri degi magi madam du su koi gi kadetari am nungsi baitare mana mai ju tobiu nan tawe adubu aina kwai nungsi jabase koi Manipur da leba kanda mana koi ching tam adu da habase swai hai na hona base masi made yamna pressure tawni koi am nungsi na leba aduga mana maharame koi Manipur se am chil jawba aduga migi kano si awa am khangba mafam ma oibna marmoidana Manipur da ayam da koi jati puno laga hapsin laiba phawri se mase koi Manipur da leba jati puno maksing minu si leitaba degi chil seng da balam targa degi sulera moi aduna ngasigi Manipur si am na noiba famni ga man ma tambirani adu boy khangura mana society gi hekta bam tamne gon yam nongai taba yam awabam di Paujiki, Adana, Say Mahagna, Quigi, Manung Matam Chadana, Laki the Base, Makitawaina, showed him from China Laden with Damak, Amarima, Imun Mangi, Awaba Hangna, Saru Yazari Hedana, through a South Day Tamdi, the Matanga, Shiri Laisam Nandukumar, former member of Manipur Legislative Assembly, Uripo Constitution Kambirapa, Pabungi. ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯗ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯊꯝꯖꯒꯦ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯄꯥꯎꯡ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯍꯦꯟꯖꯗꯦ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯁꯤ ꯀꯌꯥꯃꯨꯛ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯇꯧꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯨ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯅꯁꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯈꯤꯕꯗꯨꯅꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯆꯥꯔ ꯆꯥꯏ ꯆꯥꯗ ꯆꯥꯗꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯇꯥꯏꯞꯇ ꯇꯧꯕꯤ ꯌꯥꯔꯗꯤ ꯁꯨꯡꯌꯥ ꯌꯥꯗꯦ ꯌꯥꯔꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯍꯥꯏ ꯄꯥꯕꯨꯡꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯦꯗꯚꯣꯀꯦꯠ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯤ ꯌꯥꯗꯕꯗꯣ ꯌꯥꯏ ꯌꯥꯅꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯕ ꯇꯧꯗꯥꯏꯅꯦ ꯄꯥꯕꯨꯡ ꯑꯗ ꯑꯌꯥꯕꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯗꯅꯕ ꯇꯧꯗꯥꯏꯅꯦ ꯄꯥꯕꯨꯡ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯃꯥꯁꯤ ꯅꯣꯛꯑꯦ ꯃꯦꯛꯁꯤꯃꯝ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯑꯩꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯇꯝꯕꯤꯕꯁꯦ इबुंगो नहा ओने पुंसीदा ओइदबु चेदा ngangganu तौगने हब थबकतो हाना खलब मतुंगदा तौरिङेदा मदु खलहु तौने खंगरि नंग सुंगन हंगिनु हरब थबकतो सक्सेस ओइगनी हे ताकपि अदुगि मतकता ngसगी एजे खरा फिंगन मनिना मा हाय इबुंगो फिंगनु फिंबसे मांगजब ngakतनी अदु ngang सकबसु तमना ngang हौजिबसु आई तमना ngang सैजेदेगा मान हायबसे हेक अयम मतमदा तोयना फैमिली पाबुंगसिगा मयुमना अयमदा चली एदिगी आई स्पीकर मतमदा तोयना लागा दम फंबी माइगी नुसिजबा आइने नुसिजबा हायबु लोगी बाना हे हंगोरबा फोन हंगसुने फोनददी खंगोय बुंगो लाओ युमदा लागा सिने बदो आई ताकिनोनादी उकिल लमदा तमकपा खोई प्रोफेशनल ओरकपा नतमिना भाइबे ngamsu खंगोय आयना चपगाना लाइकसिगा फजना पिरकन फजना फ्लैग थिलगा फम चाना सिना सीएमनी एक्सप्लेनेशन सीन तबने फजना तबी अदुना मा खुगी लेखिदबसे उरिपो कंस्टिट्यूएंसी सिनदतना मणिपुर चौबा मा मांगजबने हने हाउस थ्रू अगर हाउस थमजरी लोइना मांगना लेखिदबसिदा मागी थवाइना ईश्वरी मफमदा इंसिंगना लेरुना अमदी लेखिद्रबगी इमुंगी अवाबदु सेहकु सरुग याजने सुमजु थमजरी दुगा मथंगदा श्री सलाम जयेंद्र कुमार सिंह थांगा कंस्टिट्यूंसी काबिरकपा सिगी पाबुंसे आई सामकदी डायरेक्ट थेंगनाजौदे अदुबो खैना ताजबदा आइना स्पीकर मतमदा ऑन नंबर मेंबर फॉर्मर मेंबर सिंह रेगुलर मेंबर्स हिस्ट्री सुम थिगतबा कांदा यामना जेंटल खोगी असेंबली मरमस मांगजबनी ओइबसु ngang पैसाजे माने लुपा तो मीगे अवाब ओरगा पिथोकलंबा असे ओनंबर मेंबर साबिगी मागी चाही थामांगागी तो लेका थोमेगा हाइबिदिदो स्मार्ट इन हिस्ट्री जुम तिगो कोंदा से एज ए मेंबर ना लो मेकर अमाउंट मियामगी रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ओबदा क्वाइट मतिक चाबने ने सुम थमजगे आई सुम ताजबनी आई सुम लौजदब हाइतारे अदन माना ओबुसिगी लेखिदबसिगी थवाइना ईश्वरी मफमदा इंग्लिश लेरुना मसुम लेखिदबी इमुनुंगी अवाबद एक सरुक याजरे है सुम मफम तोगा साउसे थमदरी दुगा मथंगदा हिसामुद्दीन एगी अंकल एमडी हिसामुद्दीन फॉर्मर मेंबर्स ऑफ मनपुर लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली बरंग कंस्टिट्यूएंसी कबिरकपा मसी ए इसामका हकथेंगना कैरेक्ट थिंगनाय मेनली थिंगबसी खोगी बाय इलेक्शन की ऑनरेबल मतमगी मेंबर ओबेनबा एगी नाउ पृथ्वीराज बोट खोमदा मेनली थिंगजबनी मइमदा चपकांदा मासी करी हाइतारेने याना जोली ओई एडवाइस हम तोगल्ले अदुजिमदा मन हाई अखोइसे अखोइगी मुस्लिम की कनो पोक्चरुरसु इसामाकसे 95% आई मैतेगी ई संगनी बुंगो हाई अदुना मासी वासे दोंग ngangalle digi tanasu ngangde khon yam khak chawgalle aduga man aingonda hai ma mkhale लो मेकर खोइसे कानानासु सगी पिबा फमना तबनी इसाना प्रजाना पावर प्रजाना खोइद पीब पावर से सि काइदुंगसु नाथेरेगा तौनु बुंगो हाइन खोइ मान तमिरमी अदुइ जुमदक्ता मासी एजुकेशन सेक्शन दा थवाइ am यावबिरमी दुगा खोइ मरोइना एग्रीकल्चर लमदा मा याम कान हाइ लौ सिंगु लमसे मसी यामना मसी कान होनना होनगदमनि खोतगम याम कान तमिरमी अदु माना लेखिदबसिदा खोगी मोरंग कंस्टिट्यूशनगिनसु अचुबा मंगजबा मनी माकी लेखिदबी थवाइना ईश्वरी मफमदा इंग्लिश लेरुनबा अमदी लेखिदबी मुनुंगी अवाबते हाक सरुक याजे लोइन अरोइबदा सी खोगी असम कंस्टिट्यूशनसी की मेंबर अनिल काबिरमबनी से आइना हेक पोंगमिनबा यामद तौजै तमो है हेंजते मानसु ꯃꯤ ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯀꯧꯕꯤꯗꯦ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯅ ꯇꯧꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯥꯁꯤ ꯈꯔ ꯈꯤꯇꯪꯗꯤ ꯐꯤꯡꯒꯜꯂꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯍꯪꯉꯨꯕ ꯑꯝꯇ ꯈꯪꯗꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯦ ꯈꯪꯉꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒꯅ ꯏꯕꯤꯗꯦꯟꯁ ꯄꯨꯊꯣꯔꯛꯀꯅꯤ ꯃꯥꯒꯤꯗ ꯀꯥꯗ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯤꯛ ꯊꯝꯃꯤꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤ ꯃꯐꯝ ꯆꯥꯅ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯊꯝꯃꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅꯗꯤ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯄꯥꯏꯕꯗ ꯈꯪꯉꯔꯣꯏꯗꯕ ꯃꯥꯅꯗꯤ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯄꯨꯊꯣꯔꯛꯄꯗ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯖꯒꯥ ꯍꯦꯛꯇ ꯂꯩ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯇꯥꯜꯂꯛꯄ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅꯤ ꯃꯤꯗ ꯄꯤꯖ ꯄꯤꯊꯛ ꯇꯧꯕꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯊꯋꯥꯏ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯌꯥꯎꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯂꯣꯒꯤ ꯑꯝꯇ ꯍꯪꯉꯨꯔꯒꯅ ꯁꯤ PhD ꯌꯥꯎꯅꯤ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯀꯥꯂꯟꯁꯤ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯨ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯁꯤꯗꯨꯜꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯨ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯆꯞ ꯆꯥꯅ ꯌꯥꯎꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯂꯣꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡ ꯍꯪꯉꯨꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯏꯕꯤꯗꯦꯟꯁꯀ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯇꯝꯕꯤ ꯇꯥꯛꯄꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯃꯔꯨꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯥꯔꯇꯤꯀꯨꯂꯔꯂꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯁꯤ ꯑꯀꯤ ꯑꯈꯪ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯂꯩꯇꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯊꯋꯥꯏꯕꯨ ꯀꯥꯊꯣꯛꯑꯁꯨ ꯀꯥꯊꯣꯛꯑꯒ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛꯁꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯈꯟꯕ ꯃꯤꯑꯣꯏ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯁꯤ ꯑꯣꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤꯃꯛꯇ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯤꯀꯔ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗꯁꯨ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯇꯝꯕꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯁꯨ ꯂꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯦ ꯃꯤꯅ ꯁꯦꯝꯕꯅꯤ ꯂꯥꯏꯅ ꯁꯦꯝꯕ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯏꯁꯥꯅ ꯏꯁꯥꯕꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯟꯁꯇꯤꯇ꯭ꯌꯨꯁꯟ ꯑꯣꯐ ꯏꯟꯗꯤꯌꯥꯁꯦ ꯃꯁꯤꯕꯨ ꯔꯦꯁꯄꯦꯛ ꯇꯧꯗ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯑꯣꯏꯗꯣ ꯏꯟꯗꯤꯌꯥꯗ ꯇꯤꯜꯂꯨꯔꯕꯅ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯗꯦꯃꯣꯀ꯭ꯔꯦꯁꯤ ꯆꯠꯄ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛ ꯑꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯍ꯭ꯌꯨꯃꯦꯟ ꯕꯤꯡ ꯅꯠꯇꯕ ꯆꯞ ꯃꯥꯟꯅꯩ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯩ ꯆꯨꯝꯃꯦꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤꯁꯨ ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗ ꯇꯠꯇꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯂꯝꯖꯤꯡ ꯂꯝꯇꯥꯛ ꯇꯣꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦꯅꯦ ꯆꯥꯃꯤꯟ ꯊꯛꯃꯤꯟꯅꯕꯗ ꯃꯣꯠꯇ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯒꯁꯨ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯌꯥꯔꯤꯕꯃꯈꯩ ꯄꯤꯖ ꯄꯤꯊꯛꯅꯕ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯇꯧꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯃꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯄꯥꯝꯃꯨ ꯌꯥꯊꯪ ꯑꯝꯇ ꯈꯪꯗꯦ ꯂꯩꯇ꯭ꯔꯗꯤ ꯂꯩꯇꯦ ꯂꯩꯔꯒꯗꯤꯅꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅꯤ ꯑꯋꯥꯅ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯁꯨ ꯍꯦꯛꯇ ꯁꯤ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯁꯤ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯄꯤꯕꯤꯔꯝꯕ ꯊꯕꯛꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯇꯧꯕꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯑꯃꯣꯏꯕ ꯃꯆꯥꯁꯦ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯃꯅꯨꯡ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯆꯥꯗꯅ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗꯕꯁꯦ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯑꯆꯧꯕ ꯃꯥꯡꯖꯕ ꯗꯠꯇꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯁꯥꯝꯊꯣꯡ ꯀꯦꯟꯗ꯭ꯔꯁꯤꯒꯤꯁꯨ ꯑꯆꯧꯕ ꯃꯥꯡꯖꯕ ꯑꯃꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯇꯃꯣꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯊꯋꯥꯏꯅ ꯏꯁꯣꯔꯒꯤ ꯃꯐꯝꯗ ꯏꯪ ꯆꯤꯡꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯨꯅꯕ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯏꯁꯣꯔꯒꯤ ꯃꯐꯝꯗ ꯑꯩꯍꯥꯛꯁꯨ ꯏꯃꯨꯡ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯒꯤ ꯑꯋꯥꯕꯗꯁꯨ ꯁꯔꯨꯛ ꯌꯥꯖꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯋꯥꯐꯝꯁꯤ ꯊꯝꯖꯕ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯤꯀꯔꯅ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯈꯔ ꯄꯤꯕꯤꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛ ꯊꯥꯒꯠꯆꯔꯤ ꯊꯦꯡꯛ ꯌꯨ
Next, Honorable Member Sri L. Jayantakumar.
Speaker sir, yamna athu matamda aina permission sip tawjabada bibirapagi speaker bu honorable sir bu thagajai asigi obituary reference te yauriba mi manga eminent iba personality ngakani adu manga maksigi atmana ingne tapna ishori khada leibo ishuwa na khomjab loinana aina sai ꯉꯥꯡꯕꯤꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠꯃꯦꯟ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗꯨꯗ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯁꯄ꯭ꯂꯤꯃꯦꯟ ꯇꯧꯖꯅꯤꯡꯕ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯍꯥꯞꯆꯤꯟꯖꯅꯤꯡꯕ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯖꯍꯧꯕ ꯈꯔ ꯍꯥꯏꯖꯕ ꯇꯥꯏ ꯑꯩ ꯑꯅꯤꯈꯛꯇ ꯑꯩ ꯐꯣꯀꯁ ꯇꯧꯖꯒꯦ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯁ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯂꯥꯏꯁ꯭ꯔꯝ ꯅꯔꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔ former member of Manipur Legislative Assembly from 10 Udipok Assembly constituency amana aigi kendragi leikitaba hayeng Sarat karma thoiba tamai bomcha ani sidai focus sojage Lashman Nandukuma miyam la ngasai haibi miyam la pabung ko boyowi mangdi mai tehiduna adu aishana uncle idana uncle Nandukuma idana in interest ojabani tana uncle gisi mari mata su distant oiba kitang relative amasu oiba mai machana bisai senapasi manal robu gileiba adu Madugi matakta ay tingna sa ubasi yam nungaiba makalga life ta kauro doba na jibatai. I know while serving as judicial officer jazo in the laying edo. Kena ba case me ang malta yam interesting oiba. Legal technical ako ye technical case me am yoba legal leverage me am yoba makal case am kat ay uncle ga. Layo garba han gi form e issue or matama HNK ga mabani na. Kil oina toga tamda moi high court ki ukil ngauta ukil oin toga gi mangda lepaga judge oina mabani thagi case am lei adam de ki ai logi like ti yauri myam du khakta na tabada how bo ukil anisina
하이나는 뭐 땅나라만 매암들이 애니 수담자 호매야만 야우반 하베다 클랜 कुमार 마시 गोटी हाई कोर्ट की शिनाय भोकेनी अगर गोटी हाई कोर्ट ना हाई रिश्ते होती मणिपुर हाई कोर्ट हाई रे मतलब दुर्दी गोटी की हाई कोर्ट की मखाता कोई लोई नमक के कोई जुडिशरी से द होल नॉर्थ ईस्ट मधुल मने ना गोटी हाई कोर्ट मतलब दुर्दी हमें अदो शिनाय भोकेट ना हारगा करी नो हारगा दिसम नहीं चाहिए अहलो रे उकिल लोई न लेबनी चाहिए अहलो रे मोहन शिनाय भोकेट ना हाई तो ना हाई तो शिनाय भोकेट से वन दो मले हाई कोर्ट मसे हाई कोर्ट की एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव बेंच न पी टाइटल लवने मागी अचीवमेंट मागी हाई शिंगबा माई कैरियर दु यंग पी बा मखल के तो मखल परमन टाइटल लवने मदु टाइटल दु फांगबा मखल के यंकल नंद कुमार ने अदे अदुमेन तौदना अखोगी हानबा पुंसिगी हानबा सरुक थेंगदरबो मतुंगदा पॉलिटिकल फील्ड चंगकांदा कल खोगे सामु थेंगनारे अदु मदुरा सुमासे ngasai हाई मयाम दुनी यामना जल्दी होइबा स्टेट फॉरवर्ड होइबा अदु इवन कुना यामना सिंग हारि फागी जोगाई तौबा अखोई मसेन से बेरियर लेट हाइबते अहलनि नाने हाइबी बेरियर लेट ना दो बाव वरी साबा बखलगी अल्बोनी यामनि रिसोर्सफुल होइबा अदुगा स्टेट फॉरवर्ड होइबा बखली निपानी माना लेगी तबदा कोई उरिबो केंद्र खतंगना मणिपुर की जगह खुदमुक्त लेबा मीशिंगी मदुगी अवटबा चौबा बेकम अमा लेरनी येदना मतुमा आई मतम फोंदोक चगे मथंगदा तमय बुमचा गई गसी कैसामतुम केंद्र दैबानी लेमिना बाहबताई माना मुकाई आइना मुकाई माना मुकाई आइना मुकाई तौदना हौजिक फावसी लाक बाहबताई तमय बुमचा सी पॉलिटिकल फील्ड माइ तौदनी बान से पॉलिटिकल राइवल लई हाइबो की बात नहीं बट थमय ददी बान से बेवार तौना मखलगी यामबने in fact तमय बुमचा he started his career from this very August house city hockey bane मागी अखोगी भाभी सी जगह से लेरमने दिलोइना मा मसामक से भाभी से आई टी फैमिली रिलेटिव और भाई बेटाई आई नाउन पी की आंटी सिंह ने अरुण बनी तवइबा अमसु सेम लीगल फिटनेस दिगी होरपा हम कमिनर पचही अमन दिगी हल्लगसु मसुन अहानबा इन बट कारगा मिनिस्टर ऑफ एजुकेशन ओइबा कंदसु तमयम जासे मागी जस्ट ऑन द वर्ज ऑफ रिटायरमेंट मासे लॉज के तो ओइना लेबा माइ तोंना लेबतेगी बने से हमना अमग बेभा तोंना बाबेते बट जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ दिस पॉलिटिकल लेदिबा राजनीति ओइबा मखल की पचना मरम मोदना होइना मतुदा मीन येंगबदा इवाने से राइवल ने हाइबा की बात ने तो मोय दे तुम थमोइदा पाउ फंगे हाइबते मतोंदा बेभा तोंना मखल यामने अदा मासी सुनगी सिदे इबा खरा सिदे नतना मागी पर्सनल लाइफ अखोइन उजबसे मैम लोइन थेनबिरंगै एवरी मणिपुर की सोसाइटी इन्वॉल्व तौब सोशल किओस अम थुपकांदा मदुदा ततना इन्वॉल्व तौब अमस इन्वॉल्व तौनिंगनबा अमसंग मदुदा मदुगी रेमेडियल कनोमा माइ सॉल्यूशन पि होनबदा यामना कनामतन इजुलुब नतना मसाना थोरागा एम तौजबा पाम्बा अमसंग तौनिंगबा अमसंग तौरम अमसंग निपामने नाइ मतुमा आई हाजनी अदु मामा लेगदबदा कैसामु केंद्र की अचौब बेतम अमा दुमा लेगनी येतना हाइबतना तना अंकल कुमार अमसुंग तमु बुमचा लेगदबदा केंद्र की प्रजा संघ अवटपा लेबतना तना the whole legal fraternity madurili makal की मिपम खुदिमक अमसुंग मणिपुर की प्रजा खुदिमक मदु अचौब अहो अम लेहौरनी हेता इमदुमा आई through this August house आई मदु फोंदोक चगे अदुगा हारिबा अनिसिगी थवाई नै सोरि मखयादा शांति ओइना इंगना नुंगाइना ईश्वर की हमदा लेबो इसनो बस ईश्वर नंगै बुसु कोई नुसिपो इसनो अदुगा इमुंग मनोंगी की मिपम खुमक्तसु नुंगाइतबा मतु अवाबा नुंगाइतम याम शेयर तौजरी हाइजर लोसिन सके थैंक यू सर
ayaksu leikhidraba rusina singi magi ibumunungi waba mudi tawaina sorgi khoya khada ningthina leina ba prathna tawjabaga lena khoiramjari House ke aba log jaga hak resolution am ta move jage that this house expresses its deep and profound sorrow at the sad demise of Sri Aswani Kumar, former governor of Manipur, Sri Laisram Nand Kumar Singh, Sri Salam Jayanta Kumar Singh, Hassanuddin Mohammed, and Sri Elbomcha Singh, former members of the Manipur Legislative Assembly, and that the members of this house observe 2 minutes silence by standing as a mark of respect to the departed soul. Thank you. Makachadazana House da Karim Loktak Honorable Member Sri L. Susindro Mitena Medical Treatment in Damokta Salibat Tang Maria Manga February 2021 Suti Nibide House the people Yabirabla House Yabirabina list granted. Agenda number 2, discussion on governance rest. Discussion on the motion of thanks to the governor's address moved by the Honorable Member Sri P. Sarchandra Singh and seconded by Honorable Member Dr. Sapam Ranjan Singh on the 3rd February 2021. Ahmada motion of thanks ki Muvarna. Warul Thambigin.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. Aigi damaktari motion of thanks to aina move to zaba, and at the same time discussion desu participate to zaba si yamna laibuk pabani yamna detail oiba facts and figures to repeat udana aina focus to zining basi sarkar asina honariba I challenge mayam overcome to no honoriba initiative mayam loriba, and at the same time innovative oiba yamna inclusive oiba program mayam paikat laga Manipur gi sashan tawbada yamna ting oigadaba mawong da masung praja sing da kadwa pigadaba magi pandam duda maduga loinana yamna maru oiba achievement khara Sakar Sigi Matamda, Amazon Honazaman no in a Pangjaba, Mayam the Karva Piba Singdo, Mardo in a focus to the gay. Amakta the COVID-19 pandemic, just like an undeclared war all over the world. Masigi Changshila Eva Sigi challenges Masi, we are proud to mention in this August House that aikoi ngasigi government asina amasung state asigi praja sing all sections of the civil society mayam sina puller kanda government ki initiative endeavor do my pan the bayadi having inclusive of among the in the best possible manner COVID ki challenges se masi prevent tonaba control tonaba amasung manage tonaba honaba sini aikoi yamna sauk chaningai oibasi aduga aikoi na mukka yamna thabak toba matamda COVID ki challenge thengnabada nuaijgi basi we had constituted a state level consultative committee headed by the Honorable Chief Minister. Aikoi ki Chief Minister na maduda policy amasung ate tawgada thabak mayam se madugi guidance to completely under his chairmanship committee sina torkna PB kibani. It may be in terms of SOP, regulations, etc., etc. Chief Minister ki initiative ki makada COVID fund phawba create toraga more than 24 crores. Aikoi lairabe state ni state machani shawhroba challenge ni madu nanda bo honarak pamatamda aikoi madugi COVID fund create toraga challenge me madu thengkibani. Apalaiba mioi kayama more than 23,000 stranded persons outside Manipur. Aikoi naharol sing maruoi na mapanda thabak toraga leiba larik tammaga leiba lapangam dadana waraga leibado. It was indeed yamna aikoi na sothok chaningai oibse maduda aikoi gi police personnel sing COVID warriors sing doctors sing and civil servants mayamna aikoi gi leaders sing gi makhada maduda hondara kanda tongan ba exit point mayam leibaduda aikoi left right north south punak tu dagi lakko mayam se praktane stranded over persons sing gi mathwai kan khiba su Manipur de yolakna bohona khido jeri ba taukiba yam exemplary oiba maduda dedicated oiba aikoi gi warriors sing dun walk taukiba do mayam hajik phawbaning sing birangani adu natna tongan ba COVID care center mayam amasu quarantine center mayam ama aduga assembly constituency gi segment single level the MLA sing na makhoi madugi chairman oirakanda adugumba COVID management committee mayam ama sengkhiba MLA sing gi fund phawbada under the orders of the government aikoi fund adu contribute to oirakanda aikoi station haiba pot se when COVID ki challenge si lapdagi business punamak shut down to khraba aikoi punamak ki bagi aikoi SOP ngangna sat ya di haibdagi punamak stand still the lerba matam aduda MLA sing the diet do sinabire kanda nakoi gi fund sina praja sing di sian ya di haiba under the instruction of the leader of the house and the Chief Minister aikoi da PB ba diet do MLA kuding mang na kendra hompunda pangpuk pirakanda aikoi na manage those hibado madu na ngasiri kana badu phange. Today we are very proud of being a state where recovery rate say out of 28,000 something aikoi positive oibagi thengna khiba madungda aikoi as high as over 98% recovery rate aikoi gi da Manipur da lakpa se mase aikoi gi di aikoi yamna sense of satisfaction adu fazana lejabai. Minister had mentioned once on one occasion that madudi aikoi vaccination gi kanabasi pirasi haibagi trial gi stage situation si lakpa phawda aikoi sarkar na Manipur gi hona jaba mayam se masida thajaba gamaram loina thajaduna aikoi notice ki ate state sing the pidring the vaccination to udambagi adugumba aikoi the opportunity se makoi PB rakpa sample mayam PB rakpa vaccines mayam thabi rakpa se Manipur state ati state thadring da hana thabirai madun marmar kan dai khoida yamna kanab se phangi amasung santi raksa gi matangda governor gi address yamna chamna fajana panbirmi maruda ati sangdukna Manipur si the most improved small state haiba madugi fajraba dumba rating amakak torga madi in the area of law and order madugi index tu yengera kandai koi sida masi pibirami aduga su aikoi Manipur sida yamna nungai jari bedi pikraba Manipur gi state sida best police station nupok sekmai gi lara kanda aikoi gi chief minister na managa pibi kido ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯀꯥꯎꯕ ꯉꯝꯗꯦ. We are really proud of it. And at the same time, we have women police stations in all the districts of the state. Masi nupisinggi crime, makoi against the crime lakpa khuppa mayam si lakma tamda aikoi gi intricacies mayam aruba mayam leriba challenges mayam do thingnabada masina yamna hena aikoi da mateng panghalli. And law and order si sida aikoi gi sida yamna improve torok pasina. It has featured in development, simulating development. Duna masi porse lakma tamda aikoi se niti ayog ki piba grading the development index is the most innovative state in the northeastern region. Have a say niti ayog na aikoi da Manipur da bibi ki bani sel thungi matang sila kumatam da COVID na maram na it was a very challenging year. Adubo aikoi government ki yam na checks na effective cash management special thungi management si torokatam da yam na checks na tujaba amsung akoi central grant na singbasi enhanced torok namaram werer kan akoi adequate funds create toroga akoi development ki da akoi phana changsin ki social welfare and health education ki da club tujage yamna inclusive oiba approach ma government na adopt to base akoi na kadai thengna bagi haibu sir. Livelihood missions mayam amak aikoi ki Manipur da fajana initiate tor kan da implement torok pase machine praja sing da yamna inclusive oiba makhal ki kana bado development to koi pi bangami. Chief Minister na magi tengbang gi scheme mayam amak aikoi sida introduced to we. And 2020 gin national education policy da handak anuba makoi na attempt to matogadori madudi aikoi Anganwadi centers se yamna fajana vibrant oina yamna productive oiba mong the function torom da base hojikti Anganwadi centers sida anga si chahi ahum dagi education horgani hanadi chahi mari da manga da taruk talek tambagi wakal khalami. Today our children are so advanced mako yamna progress oiba hengal number morakanda realizing that national education policy 2020 harisi anga chahi ahum dagi school tam batai. But in that context, ekoi Anganwadi centers se vibrant Anganwadi centers ohen batai hai se masi ekoi government ki policy ni. Na Prime Minister gi Ayushman Bharat ki makhada ekoi de mateng pangbiba aduga Chief Minister gi tengbang scheme mayam leiba medical college Churachandpur da man nau na linkhat ka doriba sina chingba mayam se ekoi yamna anagadaba praja singda aikoi ge nungaiba amsung phanggadaba du makhal gi initiative ne hanal haijage. Tourism na singbagi matang da art and culture yauna samjinraga national highway gi mayam gi project central road fund gi makha finance to RIDF ki infrastructure development program mayam makak to nesets ki ngarang maksu governor gi address da fajana panbi ki ba ADB na assist to ba number road construction mayama PMGSY gi mayama. And a very interesting thing is yam innovative again challenging show ba Manipur heli service thaiba ngasi present government sigi matamda connecting Imphal with More, Jiribam, Tamenglong Mars ki aroiba phau 2021 phau haju phau gi for the time being madu aikoi chanagani lehigani masigi service se hariba se masi aikoi yengbatai performance na phajana farabadi government na soidana khana bigani aduga tourism gi matang sida su aikoi ibudo marging da aikoi roadway gaksi sembagi thabak tokalakpa spiritual circuit haiba yamna innovative ba phajagra port am khap puthoi ba se at the same time water park na singba Manipur da togodor se yamna nungajari badi yamna inclusive ba approach da aikoi gi kendra home food leiriba kendra home food maksida lupa lak yankai gi tourism ga mari lenaba aikoi adumba project sing do government na finance togani haidna madugi proposal tobiri ayaba su pibire. Culture gi matang da ekoi Chief Minister gi artist sing da piba madugi makoi gi tengbang aduga 3 museums inside Kangla da ekoi sare harakanda ekoi gi heritage ekoi gi culture mayam leri meba mayam se ekoi gi history is nesting mayam se mayam da kangan ga doriba Manipur University of Culture ekoi Imphal East ekoi sarana bagi plan toriba in the hills districts asina maram wera kanda ekoi ari ba civilization gi primitive way of life na chingba mayam dugi mayam da phajana kanaba pibi ga do base ekoi sarkar asigi yamna kanna hojaba adugi mahiya duni ekoi na panga dori base water resources agriculture law singba gi matang asina chingba matang di ekoi ari ba irrigation project mayam amakakse aiko hinganabagi revolve dolai thabi oisanu LLI gi oisanu asumba mayam ase masi amu hinganbagi warep ase government lorga masi gi initiative se yam tu thabu oina pangthokadore water bodies na chingba mayam ase loina amukka nauna develop togori including lambel partner chingba si aduga yamna nungaibadi 2024 the JJM gi pandamama thamibase connection to all households have say by 2024 the yumdong khuding da rupi sing na yam wana toti sing punna queue the letter kanda madu chalaka ni sing yabagi awabdo lehelaro hojikti 2024 the yumthong khuding makai koi ising tahalagani toti gi sing phangan gene haba blue revolution mateng warakan namadu makhada ngayokpagi sigi kanaba mayam da phangan goriba maramdi ngasi koi di staple food ni aduga veterinary hospital mayama dispensary mayama koi sida sagadoriba. And interestingly, Manipur is inching towards a organic state. Amakakta organic missions ye koi launch kore rakanda koi government sino organic Manipur hai report amakakit mang bese we definitely inching towards that. Aduga chief minister gi green Manipur mission da koi yamna fajaba pandama galwena na koi state asida masigi kana bese phanganda bondari. Electricity chingba power commerce and industries IT sector na chingba yam tension na thamjage 24/7 power supply have say see yam stable among the all over the state of Manipur all the villages to be covered asigi potse ko yam kana masi initiative se lor pasna almost stabilized torbugu mani Loktak downstream hydroelectric project 60 mega asigi collaboration tawdna masi thok paikhalakadore industrial states aikoi fajana thok toba lere PMEGP gi the investment in the northern region se Manipur na phangi Prime Minister ki employment generation program the PB investment si aduga mega singba se aikoi masi functional loiba jaga mari leire office haiba se aikoi ngasi gi koi gi anuba government asigi masigi sali ba sahi esidagi mamangi sahi dagi haiba tare hojikti 2021 ni aikoi office se aikoi fajana masi establish Sanaraba matung da hojiki Chief Minister Secretariat yauna ministers ki office yauna amasung atai department ki mioi singsi loy yauna DCC correction samdar kanda akoi sumba porti ke kana basa fangan ga dore so connectivity provide tore kanda level forward de koi pudar ka dore masi ki port Chief Minister gi masi ki initiative makada koi mention pangto pani aduge sports ki matang dari Honorable Chief Minister na Indigenous Martial Arts Promotion Initiative makada thang ta wen lalung na chingba se masi promote na bagi akan bakhong tha ma changselai Hello India gi makada Manipur da lakada ba kana ba mayam makak leire ai loina mak sector khudimak ne loina panjana asum kharasi thamjara kanda aina aroibada thamjingbadi bus house sida we are definitely winning this COVID battle aikoi ngasi gi COVID se ngasi di almost aikoi ngamgadore masi undeclared war ne na hojaki baduni aikoi da it was very dry atmosphere adu dai khoi mapan phobu thopa ya dia dane SOP na chingba punamak police na chingba wabi ki mayam do ngasi today we are confident our people are coming out today aduna ngasi di ma market phobu koi hang bagi pan tori besini in line aikoi sum the captain haibatare hugi battlefield to the he was leading from the front Chief Minister in this context was tested positive ai house dai thamjage madu waru biganu ai pass ki wani mamangi wani and we have also lost 370 almost 370 precious lives masi mangi se masi gi damakta ai koi nungai the masung ai koi ni sword khurumakada makoi gi soul sing departed soul sing duna ai koi heaven da aikoi leibo oisnu aduga aikoi yamna mayamda panjning se ngasi aigi conclusion lakpa matam sida there was no starvation because of COVID pandemic Manipur da chara am pawe helen ki de cheng walan ki de 30 lakh population Manipur lebe se kanagu am pawe chara hen ki de hoki but 9 months 9.5 months sida COVID ki masigi endeavor se masi aikoi na masi yamna aikoi thakpam thoi aduga citizen centric oiba program mayam amak pangtokpa health care gi khangde micro credit ki khangde life mission ni khangde these are all just about inclusion We believe in inclusion. We are not going to leave anybody behind. Aikoi Manipur da leriba lairaba ina kunba khenaba leita aikoi Manipur sida punamak se puraga challe heba adumba government ki agenda du dani aikoi na chakchile ibase adana e-office thaina inga sai panjigi ba port se in both vertical and the horizontal sense much the context to the coin haimatam that this is a very game changing oigadaba du mamakal gi innovative administrative reform initiative ne have se sigi government sing masi koi place we said perhaps we should perhaps place it on record. Aduga social audit, we very often talk about social audit. Government institutional mechanisms enough wherever. Is it necessary that other sections of the society, concern of stakeholders, when we think about transparency, when we think about delivery system, accountability and whatnot, the social audit that has become very relevant in a modern and contemporary society. And social audit is not supposed to be biased, and they are expected to be fair enough. Just Masig Madani Niti Ayok Nasu Manipur se reward to Bogacha Manana Thabirami Bese and Roibada and Honorable Governor na Manas August House Sida Azumba Ki initiative program Mase Pazana Tawak Pakat Pagi Lebagasi Leriba Piba Mado August House the Mag address to Tambira Mado Amuka Masi Tagatarakanda and Wafamsi Lusinjagi. Thank you very much.
Matang the most of things ki secondary. Matang the most of things ki secondary na Maki World Thamigani Honorable Member Dr. Sapam Ranjan Singh.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir. Honorable Governor Nangarang, 3rd of February 2021, the August House address, the Wirambadugi motion of thanks. Second, the Bugaloina Waham Kara Tamnaba Matam Bibi Bidamakta, Honorable Sabutagachari. Honorable Governor Gi address the Mayamda Mayek Singna, Government Paikat Kiba Tabak Singh. Amadi Paikat Lakadoba Tabak Singh Yam the Mayek Singh Tambikre Yamaru Ebadisa Kaukiba Sahi 2020 Hasi COVID-19 a pandemic Namaramuiduna Yama Awaba Tengnaki Akoi Manipur Kaktanate Pitribigi Drapona Makta Matam Sida Manipur government Asina yamna proactive hoina Laina Laichar Asidagi Kathoknaba Anamba Hona Biki Hojik Honai Hona Balepisa Crisis Gap Technici Handaki COVID-19 pandemic sida the Pitribida Anuba Hana Sugu Ukidreba Mawong Kiauki Pitribiki Chaukalabalam America, UK, Europe, Achocho Chaukut Balam, third world countries Soloinana. Our thing with the Zagayauki. Quarantine, sanitizers, masks, social distancing. These are which the world has talked about. Like Kazi Hirakba, Hetubudu, like Abatokbudu, Karino Hibasi Kangbadiyadums. These are new words that has come to the world. Airport empty. Mumbai Railways, Pitribi the Hainabadi. Mumbai Railways will stop functioning. Hibasikanana Butazrugin. I could get Ima market. Thingduna like in his Ganamtana Tazabaginonati. Crisis was there everywhere. Pitribi the Greek Taunabakanda handshake Taunagire. The new norm was Akwigi Indiagi, Akwigi Chanabi Namaste became very popular. hojik pudi jaga the elbowing haina hore. These are the new phenomenon that has come up. COVID-19 pandemic ki sida. Haina isa the two tests of leadership is how you function in a crisis. Si mayam na haina bo wapam ni. So in the crisis management in our state, the leadership was quick with facts. Facts ke yawn na reaction was quick. Proactive was proactive in action. Aina haisi kari gino iba sa January 2020 WHO na Wuhan dagi yamna mysterious oiba virus coronavirus kaino khangdri ba exact magi modo layong du karino khangdri ba virus ma leire haidana keno to lauthoki ba matung jida 18th January Ifal airport screening hogi. This sequence was so important, this action was so important. India the 30th January the akoi ahanba case panghi. Sa 31st January the hauraga surface entry road transports mayam sidagi changakpa screening loina tawduna 24/7 control room checks in thawang kaya loki bahuki. All international gates March ki tang tara lauthokre March ki tang tara mathoi World Health Organization pandemic haina lautho oba matung jida laibak thiban haiba tare first case 23rd March khata lai. So sigi sequence yeng ba kan jida we were far-sighted. We were proactive. The government was proactive. Sigi matamdu the proactive oduki maram oiduna hojik. We have managed to control, I would say, I'm using the word control pandemic as of now. Sir, la abo matung tida case in Manipur, the quarantine centers, isolation wards, COVID care centers, dedicated COVID treatment blocks. Sikhaktana tana angamba kharagi paid quarantine centers poksenki. Manipur Epidemic Act lauthotuna control taununa bakari tawiyage from all angles. Nasa hebi ki the honorable MLA singi support yauraga. Schools thing the bayadana thingi ba imdel thingjan ba curfews lauthok ba yadana lauthok ba it was very essential. These were very essential steps to control the pandemic. IIP temporarily suspend togi. District couldn't get ministers in charge. Piga kamaina control togi. District the spread to State consultative committees and subcommittees mayam semduna SOPs kya semduna guidelines protocols consent zones yam semduna yam kenu toki tests quite a maru in a test approximately 5 lakh tests and COVID test was done. Mayamzi, the people became so aware kari the RT-PCR na kaino, TrueNAT na kaino, rapid antigen na kaino, prasabo khangminaraw neba. We educated the people so much. Kari kaino, karam kanda kaino to SOPs na karino. Social distancing has to be followed. Aday test makan. So media campaign, IEC campaign, mayam si habak COVID ki laina laicha sidagi ngathong na bagi steps mayam sa thagi. Si khakta na tanasa hojikta hari kiba. Nicha hen gidhe hai badu. Prime Minister's Garib Kalyan Yojana ki makhara. MLA local area development fund bo mayam utilize obiraga. The AAY at priority household sida cheng dal biki. Now, khwaidagi maru oina sa aikhoi Manipur dagi mapan lomda satra satri laina lain bagidamakta chatkhiba ada thabak tawduna leigiba mayam ama leigi. The government felt moi gisu yang bida biade maina kenu tawgudi matam du di mayam yang khangbiram gini Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, media. Chief Minister ji mapalon leba angang satra mayam sina savior ne haidana pabung biren and nungti zai Facebook, WhatsApp, kenu mayam sina dum request over idun because they wanted something to fall on. Request over do. Okay, sige. On a later side, okay, see the pamiba marak sig gizo. Mapanda straight oina leiruba amasu yawi. Mapanda leiribu du kanam tunati ayagi. Maram di mapanda leiba kanda. Lutong in matam du mapanda straight oina leiba do. Kamu wagi has I personally know it. Yamna wa matam ni. Satra ada leidna kaptuna. Paisa harga support lain ngai pangdagum to. Paisa watsal lakpa. Matang zida government na tengbang.in haidana website nama sembiduna. Angamba government agil policing ini mapandu leiba satra satri thabak to na stranded to ribelayada kayada adu mating pangbiki. Pasadugi nati that we care. Government would care people who are here in Manipur. Aikoi mapalom the labor. Mayamdo. Yamna wai satra singdo. Mapalom the thab tori basingdo. Straight to passengers sing. In the history of our country, I don't think any train has ever come from Mumbai to Jiribam, direct train, lift train. Chennai digi lift on a lako train, Jiribambo. Sikari gidamak ngamino. It is because of the proactiveness of the government and the support that we got from the center. Satra mayamdu laaba matung sida mandatory quarantine. Tawdaba Laga 14 days mandatory quarantine. Matam di 14 days ki mandatory weramba. Hoi hojik matam dugi as we knew about the virus ki mawong khalla kanji da sum tapna sum keno masing budi handaki. So 25th January 2021 po positive recovery rate say it was hitting 98.08. As I speak, recovery rate is on the rise. We have just an active case of COVID active case. Recovery rate 25th 98.08 level ngarang 98.38 level. 2,300 stranded people kungamadi Shram trains to the Puthokiba. Matamduda Ziribamdagi Wabigiba drivers, handymen, mayamgi support Kaubayagiri, Kaubum Sutokti. There were frontline warriors in the fight against COVID. Government incentives were given to them. Care was taken that they have a good stay along the route wherever they stay. Look at product, the laboring, all sections of the society. You know, the laboring, there are almost 52,605 labor card holders 1,000 rupees each. Just as it's not just the money, is that we care. Haibagi pandamdo. Street vendors da atma nibhargi makhada loans pigiba handaki COVID-19. There's a saying, sir, within crisis are seeds of opportunities. Crisis to opportunity, the number though, I think that is a sign of wisdom. That is a sign of how a government should function. So, Atmanirbhar, the self-reliance, I don't know, Honorable Prime Minister gi Midyang Makada Tariba Wakalon Sida Oxford Atman Bharta is chosen as the Hindi word for 2020. That shows the importance the world has taken of the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister. That we have to be self-reliant. Akwai Manipur's mask, to be self-reliant. Every sectors were making their own mask to be able to reach to every sections, every individual in our state. Handloom Totsida government and buy back the so that it gives them the what do you call that, the interest to work for their self-reliance. Duga handaki COVID self-reliant or inanaba. Every sections, whether fishery the oiro, street vendors in the oiro, duga any business startup cannot oiro so masigi knows the self-reliance of the Honorable Prime Minister Atmanirbhar adugi wakalon do yam kan satariba wakalon mani. Yes, akoy hojik vaccine January tang taraga toktagi akoy healthcare workers the vaccine kapa hore, frontline workers and subsequently akoy people above the age of 50 sahi yankay gi matata leiba duga sahi yankay gi makada leiba with comorbidities leiba sing akoy kapa haunu na bigi government san loina same sadun loire I yamna akoy gi honorable member peace head mover of the motion na hai gi bedo to dok pe handok ngai repeat observer roy akoy gi sigizida akoy gi financially yes. It was very much a challenge. E-office, see, within 3 months, to the department, including the chiefs, ministers, the chief minister, secretary, cabinet ministers office, 16 district. I think it's a record time. Tha ahumgi manung the e-office say haunana beta why e-office? Government ki transparency. Accountability. Speed up. It's a, I would say it was not an easy job. 3 months ki matung the e-office haudoki government ki university. Duga ima markets tara hozik sanana baidamta Manipuragi Delhi the Satpakana, Bhavangi issues, Labam Laitba, Anaba, Ek, Satpakanzida, Labam later an issue Labo. I'm sure with the third Manipur Bhavan, Dwarikada, Lakariba, Manipur Bhavan Sigi, solution, Anayam Purakara, Haidana Kanze, sir. State guest house, Manipurazo, Koiki Sanglen, Haidana Sagadoribra, Luga. Atay mayam sum ay hanzaro sa yam na nungay ba mana governor ki address to akoy gi sangay the bro under dear magi long term survivals ka queen hina be the magta magi habitat improve taunina bagi chathari consolidation of Ebul Lamjau National Park hai yamna nuain yamna tagadingai ni sa akoi gi number of sangai ji khwai pom na magna dum kumbi ri dungai masing handak pa sigi jin yamna akoi gi sangai gi population hengpa da yamna mating ama oigani sa aduga water atai mayam jai hanjan jaroi akoi gi chief minister gi haksel gi tengbang prime ministers PMJY sigi the facilities pi gi mayam ambulances life support ambulances tara mari na unaga pi ba duga benefit laborers benefit the pi ba duga atai the honorable mover so right thambi khrabni ati ai hanjan jaroi sa roi da governor's address asigi motion of thanks asi honorable member P Sarna move obi khibadu ehakna second tawjabaga loina na motion of discussion da saruk yahan bibig the honorable deputy speaker sir nongpi leitena thagatsai thank you sir.
High river discussion on governor address ka mari legna honorable member khardagi amendment notice phangji maraduna honorable member singna mana PB riba points singda ngangbina ba singjari ahan bada honorable member Sri Alfred please. Tangda Sri K. Govindas.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Honorable Governor of Manipur na House sigi sahi sigi ahubo session da ibighiba address. This address has been put with full of decoratives. And the address, this government address is always considered as a vision of the government, at the same time, performance government. In the address, some vital and important economical issues have been left out. COVID-19 COVID-19 akhoi hingoi daura nahasing kamain tawduna makhoi si state sida hingnan lambi pi gani yaudaba doidi atopa speaker mayam horen na khoigi ngangbu yakani aina thamjari fail to mention of important projects. Haijabane sir, I point da aina haijaba point laksage sir. Governor PB ba address da 2020-21 da 6 veterinary hospitals and 71 veterinary dispensaries are being taken up during 2021 and heavy. Naha na thawak phanghan ba yaba complete oiraba poultry ki breeding farm funding is not mentioned. So sida sick ki moong da lay wadong na uhan ba. The government needs to take economy projects also, and already 10 of economy projects are being addressed. See economy faraba kan khata neba praja sing sin nungai ga dorip si. When the government launched for generating good number of employment for the unemployed youths, koi government sing thana ga dorip ni only 10% state ki equity % funded by the NEC. Adubu enable minister na habi badri athu matam da ma sangaran ba ogani hai basi koina palning ba adun laptop to hoba yi hadna yi thamjaning mani mat 104 power page number 21 sida water resource and management sida in sarkar sun lakhuli ba thabasing lakhul khud lok aina phangjabada honorable CM na Niti Ayok na chawa sen phama Loktak ki makta kaithok pirale more than 1,000 crore kaithok pire hai adu happy da nasi adu itadi document ne yo khala ani se praja da su khanghan se the sir koina panjaning besat matha sir Kerala project अखोई की असेंबली सर दिखाई जाता है कर्नाटका की विधान अचुप स्टेट सिंगिना अपिक स्टेट सिंगी येंगोरगा युमलो नरिबा मिजोरम मेघालय येंगबो मतम दा कोई की असेंबली कॉम्प्लेक्स है सी वन ऑफ द असेंबली कॉम्प्लेक्स इन हनी This is a component of the Capitol project. Component of like Assembly Secretariat and Civil Secretary. Civil Secretary August House da punna famina business. Aduga hojikti Civil Secretary si doldram oi le re. For the last 4 years, ACP khara napam de log thokre kadai lai ram khangdi masi matang pande mathang da sa post activities da work darkar tai masi tombi market palam de economy activities da udaga khoi gi state ki DDP state ki kama ina hangal kani masima pande palti happy wo sini sa ko na hajari matala sir page textile commercial industries da industrial state ahum pan birmi Churchanpur Chandel and Okrun progress well now. Nothing is moving forward. Kanim simbalate sabalate. Or mamang is sakana tormudu ki machine bowling amde. It is not mentioned. Commissioning of these industrial states, we can create a lot of jobs. Honey processing plan amalai. This will be the lone honey processing plan in Manipur. Apana finance the one. As you must for last 4 years. We have of our organic honeys. Davarla Amani Manipurda, Himalaya ꯍꯥꯏꯖꯒꯦꯗꯅ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯉꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯤꯖꯅ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯖꯥꯔꯕꯦꯁꯟ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯉꯝꯗꯕ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯁꯦꯁꯤꯡ ꯌꯨꯅꯤꯠ ꯂꯩꯇꯕꯒꯤ ꯐꯥꯔꯝ ꯀꯌꯥꯅ ꯃꯥꯡꯍꯟꯗꯅ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯑꯃꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯂꯣꯏꯁꯤꯟꯖꯔꯛꯄꯗ ꯁꯥꯔ ꯄꯦꯖ ꯅꯝꯕꯔ 3ꯗ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯣꯔꯠꯁ ꯄꯜꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯣꯔꯠꯁ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯆꯤꯐ ꯃꯤꯅꯤꯁꯇꯔ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯑꯃꯗ district sports complexing lusinmoy matam pide but what is always considered as the powerhouse of the sports sigumba sport khasing se masi phundok ningdaba si basi karigino aduna khoina haban ningbage khoi muk tawjabani sir maram aduna in losin jarakpada aina कोई विजन अमसुंग कोई परफॉर्मेंस कार्ड ओन लेगदरिबा गवर्नर की ड्रेस सिदा कोई याना कया लेफ्ट आउट औरमी अदुना विजन खरा सोथा अदुगुंबा एड्रेस मनी हाइदुना लौजै मरम अदुना अखोइना थमजा गवर्नर एड्रेस सकोई पुनम सपोर्ट तौजगे हाबा फम खरसी थमजबोंना सारना मतम खर बिबिदम त सार थागसरी थैंक यू
मथंग द ऑनरेबल मेंबर श्री के रंजीत सिंह
गुड मॉर्निंग डिप्टी स्पीकर सर अना हुजिक खरा अखोई गवर्नर की एड्रेस सिदा हापनिंग पॉइंट खरा थमद्रिंगै ममांगदा ऑनरेबल डिप्टी स्पीकर सर हाउस फंबीरिबा ऑनरेबल मेंबर्स की अटेंशन ड्रॉ तौजगे सर अखोई डेमोक्रेसी सिस्टम ऑफ पार्लियामेंट की सिस्टम ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी चटप कंट्री है ताई स्टेट असेंबली लाउनरीब बोर्ड रूलिंग ओपोजिशन स्टेट की फनब चौखनब 113 सूब असेंबली की सेशन से बजेट सेशन यामना अरोब चाही मा है ताई हंदक की 13 सूब असेंबली इलेक्शन की अरोब बजेट चाही अरोब बजेट पास तौदरीब याम करी हाइने याम लूब है ताई अमरोम सर मथंगी लाकदरीब बजेट सिदी 12 असेंबली दा मुक लागा सेम अदुगुंबा ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर एमएलए मैम बोर्ड रूलिंग ओपोजिशन मुक सेबदोरीबन अमरोम दा हारगदी याम पुकनिंग सिंगाय ओइबा ngasi tam asigi aroiba budget si puthoktan khana nei nagadori basi state sigi yai phanabani plus akoi house ta phamin ribo koi si nganari ba saknari ba launari basi baza gi interest ni mathang la kadori ba mass finance gi budget amuk mathang chahi la ko kan da khoi suna mafam si da pulli ma mayam si pun gadra puloidra ga haibasi sa tambangam do aduna ina hygiene ni badi हाउस अखोना लाउनरीब से कनागुब पर्सनल मी तब नाते स्टेट की फनब चौखट थौरांगदमक्तनी खनबीनब हान थमजगे सर आई सांगना लौजरोय ऑनरेबल मेंबर मरूप कलीग श्री गोविंदास थम्बीग्रे सर गवर्नर एड्रेस है गवर्नमेंट की policy statement government no tawgodoriba thawak aduga paikhat kadoriba adugumba policy oba adugumba statement ama khangne habise akoi house da leriba akoi khudmuna loina khangi ai sar ahan bada somaina thamjage akoi gi mover of the motion governor gi mover bigi ba motion jibu mover honorable MLA burang esina दुगा सेकेंड बिगिबा ऑनरेबल एमएलए डॉक्टर रंजना यामना फरबा थंबिग्रे यस सरकार हैबसी प्रजान सेमबनी प्रजा सरकार ने प्रजा की अवा अना तारक मतमदा sarkarna awana tabudubu madu praja dong to yai phono phono boise it is a duty by the government aduna covid ki matang da yam phono hono ki akhoi khangi but tobudu sir akhoi house the phami ba honorable minister MLA about ruling and the position yam no wana ki bangtani honorable speaker zu ai anira homdak honorable speaker ki kinda laktana mudo covid akhoi quarantine center hang no mudo mayam go to wabi ram bo khopa ifan akhoi su loina mak sida pami si ching tam loina khoi se awa ba mayuk lokhibo adu sar yana no ngi budi aina somaina thamjaning base covid ki maramda governor ki address sida akhoi na thengna ki covid ai base sar akhoi khuding makna sagi undeclared war hadno honorable member mubhorna habi khara yam chumawani prithvi ki oina khoi masi mang chamma yang kinga oiba malem prithvi sida leiba miyoi jati khoi se mukhiba yabagi agumba war makhal amani haidra khoi masi thengna ki mayamdo maduda sa khoi prime minister ki scheme haibadai PMG ki awaidagi some quintal kharapi ke khuding makta aduga national food security act gi madugi lupa ohum pi usima aham gi thadu sarkar free the pi du ayam thagachari then maduna konoda masai gi card pai hogdaba dagi ina khundaba lockdown to gi dagi mapan thokpa yadrabani na cheng si phangak bang batom sida sarkar na huji haru PMGSY PMGKY gi bibi ba kholiba masi amuk ko na koi homes open market sale tha ani khak sarkar na silaga koi lupa kun gi thoi makai da akoi ahe chieng sil leiraga aigi kendra da leiri ba mafam sing da akoi yele homes ki open market sale gi scheme haiba tare keji lupa kuni khai piri ba chieng si thani gi matung dodi masigi scheme ji phangdre matam dugi the then pi akhoi gi kef and pi gi minister honorable minister matam dugi gi marup karam samda no I phone towe somai to na oms ki chieng si kamato ba have the as budhu masi chieng si leitre hadna pidre aduna masi upai leitre adu hojik napsa ga kholi PMGKY ge dum lobiro sar aigi oina aigi kendri oina aina somai to ris PMGKY gi piri ba aduga napsa gi pir balupa hum pi ga dosi masi aigi pocket gi 8 months ai announce to gi April tha gi government pi ba ta gi heng mathang gi na November ta ba bu se aigi pocket aigi maru mapang sing da pangbirak aduga local development fund gi akhoi na sizna ba khara maduna kona baza na desa ha si tha taruk taret si chumna napsa gi paisa thi adinga sai gi oms ki sing si phangaktrani na akhoi karai khare de sing si legada gi hana yilurabani na and thirak bakanda bazar da khoi sing si phange phangi sing si karam hai tauge ha bakanda akhoi gi bag ama si 50 kg ni khoi pi ba sarkar na pi ba dagi prime minister gi or natraga sagi se masi bazar da matam du da 1500 to 600 per bag sida khoi lei ga pi gi praja sing sara han beya de lain haining ri simba prithvi asida kiningai beraba tina laina marak sida adugumba 50 kg bag da 1500 600 karamba cheng sarkar na issue toriba sigumba cheng khalse masi bazar phangya hariba maman sida masi prithvi gi da record to ya pot amne ai house da thamjaya sidna tesa koi sigumba yamna kininga beraba ngasai bi gre sarkar mapan da leiba satra sari mayam ama Badoksan da bayate maduda sarkar no hono giba akhoi khang lai su tam giba ana layeng bachat khiba tongan ba treta masagi hingna ba se salesman soina to be se ta leiba ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯑꯇꯩ ꯑꯇꯩ ꯀꯝꯄꯅꯤꯗ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯁꯨꯔꯒ ꯂꯩꯖꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯇꯦꯛꯅꯤꯀꯦꯜ ꯂꯥꯏꯟꯗ ꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯅꯤꯡ ꯆꯠꯈꯤꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯂꯝꯗꯝꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯑꯣꯏ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯃꯇꯝꯗꯨꯗ ꯂꯥꯟꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯄꯣꯔꯛꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯉꯩ ꯃꯇꯝꯗꯨꯗ ꯁꯥꯔ ꯅꯤꯡꯁꯤꯡꯕꯤꯒꯅꯤ ꯐ꯭ꯂꯥꯏꯠ ꯀ꯭ꯋꯥ ꯃꯅꯥ ꯂꯣꯗ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯈ꯭ꯔꯤꯕꯅꯤ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯑꯉꯛꯄ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯇꯥꯏ ꯁꯣꯝꯗ ꯏꯆꯥ ꯏꯁꯨ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯤꯜ ꯏꯅꯥꯎ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯏꯕꯦꯜ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯁꯣꯝꯗ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯂꯥꯛꯅꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯕ꯭ꯂꯦꯝ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯉꯩ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯐ꯭ꯂꯥꯏꯠꯇ ꯀ꯭ꯋꯥ ꯃꯅꯥ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯄꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯊꯣꯛ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯕ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯑꯋꯥꯕ ꯊꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯂꯦꯚꯦꯜꯗ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯃꯤꯁꯤꯡꯒ ꯃꯥꯟꯅꯔꯒ ꯇꯧꯕꯒꯤ ꯃꯑꯣꯡ ꯃꯥꯟꯕ ꯐ꯭ꯂꯥꯏꯠꯇꯅꯤꯀꯣ ꯂꯥꯛꯏꯁꯤ ꯗꯦꯟ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯅꯠꯇꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯖꯔꯗꯥ ꯈꯩꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯅꯤꯁꯥꯅꯆꯤꯡꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯏꯚꯟ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯆꯤꯐ ꯃꯤꯅꯤꯁꯇꯔꯒꯤ ꯀꯤꯟꯗꯗ ꯏꯁꯀꯣꯔꯠ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯄꯨꯔꯝꯃꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯏꯕꯦꯟ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯐꯥꯕꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯊꯣꯛ ꯁꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯊꯤꯕꯤꯗ ꯊꯣꯛꯇꯕ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯉꯥꯛꯇꯅꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯁꯥꯔ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯀꯣꯚꯤꯗꯁꯦ ꯀꯟꯇ꯭ꯔꯣꯜ ꯇꯧꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯂꯧꯕ ꯌꯥꯔꯣꯏ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯊꯝꯕꯤꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯎꯕꯔꯒꯤ ꯁꯥꯏꯠꯇꯒꯤ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯃꯥꯔꯀꯦꯠ ꯍꯥꯡꯗ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯅꯍꯥꯟ ꯇꯥꯡ 28ꯇꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯈꯔ 11-12 ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ ꯍꯥꯡꯕꯒꯤ ꯑꯌꯥꯕ ꯁꯔꯀꯥꯔꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ SOP ꯁꯦꯝꯃꯒ ꯇꯧꯕꯤꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯂꯋꯔ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ ꯅꯔꯁꯔꯤ ꯇꯨ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 8 ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯍꯥꯡꯕ ꯌꯥꯈꯤꯔꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯑꯊꯤꯡꯕ ꯂꯩꯔꯤ ꯗꯦꯟ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯃꯥꯔꯀꯦꯠ ꯍꯥꯡꯗ꯭ꯔꯤ इवन हुजिक यूके कोविड का चम महिक हुजिक हान तेंगनग्रीब कोविड सिदगी हेन थीबा मसी स्प्रे तब मतमदा 70% हेना हानदगी हेना पावर अरी कीनिंगाय ओइबा अदुगुंबा कोविड डिजीज महिक अमा अखोय संदरे हाबसि पृथ्वी पुंबा अखोय खंग्रब ngakतने अदुना सिगुंबसिंग असि हुजि अखोय थेगदबा यारोय थेंगबा ताबनी मसी सरकार सुमराल नते मराल नते ग्लोबल वार ग्लोबल पृथ्वी की ओइबा लाइबक थीबा अदुम बलैना लाइस अमनिना मम थोखरिबा थुदोक्सिंग मसी थोक्दनबा आइना साय हाइजरिबा सरकार सिना पाइखत कदोरिबा तौगदोरिबा अदुगुमा पॉलिसी की स्टेटमेंट अम खंगनिना मसी मतुंगदा असोइबा खरा लैगिरु से तौदनबा मसी मसा हुजिकी हाइर एड्रेस सिदा पास तौदुनिदा आई सेमदोकनबगी मसी पॉइंट से थांगतजबनि सा सर अखोई सरकार सिना यामना तोइन लाउबा लो एंड ऑर्डर फिवम फरे शांति लेरे सरकार से लापदगी अखोई बिहार मिपुन अदुगा मा कीनिंगाय ओइबल लिटरेसी सरकार सिगी यामना तोइन हाइबदाय मसी खोलाउने अदु तारगदी आर्म फोर्सेस स्पेशल पावर एक्ट आई मसी ममांगी सेशन दा जु थंजखरे ममांगी अखोई मत सरकार दा ऑनरेबल चीफ मिनिस्टर दा अखोई पुन्ना कांग्रेस दा कामिनोय मतमदा 2004 दा मतमदुदा मणिपुर प्रजा मियाम छात्र छात्री इमा इबेन दा हरखिबा एक्सि लौथोकनबा कंगनादगी असम राइफल लौथोकनबा हरखिबा मतमदा मरु ओइना ngasi हाउस की चीफ मिनिस्टर ओबिरि ऑनरेबल चीफ मिनिस्टर हाउस लीडर ऑफ द हाउस आई सामक अखोई तरेत यामना चावब दायित्व हाइबता हाइरिबा सिगुंबा मसी लौथोकत्रगदी डेडलाइन पिखि तांग असु 2004 की अगस्त की तंत्राइन थोय फावगी मंग लौथोकत्रदी अखोय 13 अगस्त 2004 दखोय सेमिनार मखोंगदा एमएलए रिजाइन तबनी का हाइबगी आमना चौब स्टेप लौगी मतमदुदा लेइबा सेंट्रल अमसुंग स्टेट गवर्नमेंटना अदुगुंबा एमएलए 35 की लौरबा स्टेप तुना मरम ओइरगा यस प्रजा इवेंट मयाम हौ सीएम मयाम हौरकी अदुसु अचौबा हेल्प लैगी पॉलिटिकली ngasi लीडर ऑफ हाउस ओबिरिबा यावना अखोई तरे निपाना लौगिबि तेंदुना मरम ओरकांदा मतंदु स्टेट गवर्नमेंट अमसुंग गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ना थिंग मंगमदना लौथोखियो सेगमेंट तरे लौथोकपुसे लोइना खंगी अदैना थजनिंगी दि ऑनरेबल लीडर चीफ मिनिस्टर ना मतंदुदा फम थारपदा मसी तद्रगदी आई सामक्सु यावगने लौथोकमिनखिबा ऑनरेबल चीफ मिनिस्टर ना ngasi हाउस द फंबिरकांदा करिगिनो मसी लौथोकनबा सेंटर द हाइबिद्रिस मसी पादेबा मतमदु लौरखिबा स्टेंडो सी होंखिबदो तौबुसे मसी तौबिनो यस आई खंगे हुजिक लैरिबा एक से मणिपुर पुंबदगी लौथोकबा याखिरो अदुबु हानसु हाइजग्रे हुजिक ऑलरेडी लुथोक्तना लेरबो सेगमेंट तरह सिगी हंगनबा इवन ऑनरेबल चीफ मिनिस्टर की हेंगांग हाइबसि बोदो लुथोप याइना से लमसा अदगी कोई कोंथौजम याम लेके ऑनरेबल वर्क्स मंत्री की सिगी कोई थोंगु केंद्र अदगी वांखै लेरिबो नंगनबो इवन कुराय स्वाइगा सि हुजिकती सिक्योरिटी की मसिंग जो हेंगले जना मयाम उसे अरुब मयाम जो लोबीदना पर्सन सिक्योरिटी पर्सन मयाम जो हानते हेंगले सेकेंड में तो हुजिकती हारि मफम जिंगसिदी रस तोबे याबगी खुंगसाबसु लेरे अन सिगुंबा ऑनरेबल सीएम नसु यामना मतम दो दायित्व लोबीगिबा मणिपुर की प्रजा मयाम सु पामनदबा लोइनमक लथोक्त्रगसु मसिगी हाइना हाइजरिबा प्रमाण वानी अतै खत इवन लिलोंग स्वाई एनागा से कोई लथोक्प याय अदुन मसे मसिगी पॉलिसी की स्टेटमेंट से यौदबसे सार मसी आई हाफनजनिंगे मसी पास तदुंगेदा साइंग सा हाइजखरे आई पर्सनल नते स्टेट सिगी फननबनी सरकार से लापकंदा सा एंटी करप्शन सेल नदी सार मयाम हाइनबदा सरकार से फजना ngangdre sa कोई आई नोट तौजरीबने कोई सरकार से यामना फजबा हाई तारे कोई फ्री गवर्नेंस गवर्नमेंट की स्लोगान हाई तारे गवर्नमेंट लाउबा करप्ट फ्री गवर्नेंस ओहनगनी है प्रजा करोड़ फ्री गवर्नेंस है चुम अने सब्जेक्ट टू करेक्शन मैम हाइबसे करीगुब समथिंग खरदी लेरे मरमदी हुजिक फॉर एग्जांपल 9 10 IRB लौबगी प्रोसेस 10 11 सॉरी सर अदु ओइरंगनी मदु हाबा IRB बटालियन आई हाइतारे मसी लौबगी हुजिक प्रोसेस लोइसले मसी 7 लाख टू 10 लाख पर IRB सी खोंगले हाइबगी पाउसे मसी मयाम ngangnaba इवन केंद्र दसु लोनगे खोट के न लाख पले MLA न खर लुबी यू का हाइबु आई करिगिनो ए समाय दना आई चा से थबक हापी हारे रुपा लाख 10 पी हाई 13 पी हाई 9 पी हाई मसी सा हारे बनिको ओजाना मसे अदुना सिगुम गसिदा चाकौरिबा करप्शन की ओबा और उहलिबसे मसी तोबे यादना पॉलिसी स्टेटमेंट एक्शन लौनबगी पॉलिसी हाकदबने मधु हापते सर अदुगुंबा अमाउंट लौब तारगदी मधुगुंबा सिफाइना हयें IRB ओइराकांदा स्टेट सिगी लो एंड ऑर्डर ngakpa matamda kari thabak tokasi akhoi dum kangba potne aduna masigi corruption gi matang sima हानगी अखोई एंटी करप्शन सेनगा तो ममिंग ताग्रे खरबदौना तौरे दुना हाइरिबा सिगुंबा करप्शन की पोट सरकार सु अखोई करी हरि बदनाम तौरिबा तदबरा मसिगुम थिंगनबा पॉलिसी अमा मसिगी अखोई स्टेटमेंट सि पास तौद्रिङैदा मसिबाई सेमदो हनिंग सार अखोई पेडी फील्ड अदगी कंजर्वेशन ऑफ फॉरेस्ट एनवायरनमेंट सोगलोकपा सिगी मतंग सर को यामना हाउस तो सुंगांगना खरे मसिगी स्टेटमेंट सिद ngasiगी स्टेटमेंट सिद यावदबगिने इन पुखचरैसे सा आई को ममांगी 2014 दा लेरंबा सरकार दुगी मतमदा मणिपुर कंजर्वेशन ऑफ पेडी लैंड एंड द वेटलैंड एक्ट 2014 से एक ओइन अखोई सेममे बट थबक ओइन ngasi ओथोक ngमदबसि ngasi लेबा बीजेपी न लुसिंग सरकार से 4 years हो रहे चही मई सिदा सागलइबा लबुक लमहंग सागलइबा इम्फाल की हेक नाइंग पेरीफेरीदा हाइंगान केंद्र की मनुंगदा एयरपोर्ट लाइनदा अदगी अखोई बर्मा सुगुनु रोड मोरे लाइन यूनिवर्सिटी की लाइनदा लबुक लैसलत्रे सम 2014 labuk amasung wetland kanbagi ek se pass tawrome the Sarakus House Committee, Semboga, Karakara, the Sari, Kana, Ontango, Mossis Harbi, Motoro, Ontango, the Jumuni and a color. Kanbangam the Sar, Sahi Maris in Hajarisni, Kan the Laradana, Sahi Maris Hagal, even my say. You outlined us Hagal, University line, the Hangang Labuk Hagana, even by Amse. Mossi, a koi Kanavagi, Port say, Ek or the past, Roga, Tabak, the Wum, the Sikari, Morgano. Masi somai toroga yani habna singba dugumba policy jai to honing sa aduna ai hairiba wafam krasi thamjaraga ngasigi sigumba governor gi address ta thambirami ba government sigi policy statement oi buse masi pass to da ina thamjarba poi khara se hapchan bi yaraga hapchan biraga ai si motion ri support to jage haidana thamjage sarna matam khara pibi bagi sarbu trachari. Thank you.
Matanga, Honorable Member Sri Megachandra.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Sir, I point C amend Taunaba because was a point Amada ni, sir. Sigi February Tang Humda. Honorable Governor na past session for the year 2021 up to 12th session of 11 Manipur Legislative Assembly da si August House thambi khibasi Governor gi Honorable Governor gi address si asobi yam yaure aduna si khara amend tawnana ba ngasi Governor gi address masi move to birakpasi si pass to dring the hype tie masi semdok view aduga pass to view hide nai an mada thamjaningi sir aigi point amada larigasu as a generally observe tawda asoiba macha macha yan yawi sisu kitang mention tawge aigi ahan ba ina amend tawnana ba pukhatbasi sihan haijege para 85 to increase rice production, a subcommittee with experts from ICR, COW, MU was constituted. The committee's recommendation will be implemented starting pre-Kharif 2021. Adagi amuk to promote double cropping during Kharif 2020. Funds were allocated to increase the area under maize, soybean and pea. Haina Haidibse Para 85 se Masi agriculture and allied activities and natural resources ki Pibasi the Haitai Masi Governor address the Piba Sarkar Sigi policy program Paikat Kiba Musung Paikal Kadaba Mayam Haibatai Masi Yamna Laibak Tiba Ma Wina Ui Maramdi Aiki Nipursi Low Singubagi the depend Tawa percentage Yamna Low Singu the depend Tawi. Adumatakta Akoi cropping patterns Anini Kharif Habama Rabi crop fibama Habidi Akoi winter crops. Six came to Panda Haitai. Haiba agriculture city basically depend on Koigi Kharif and Rabi. City Kharif and the Rabi Harba Sudum Yabai. At the Sungyao Yauda Masidi City Kuna live activity and the Masi Low Singuba Ahoy Morwina Low Singuba Pakali farmer Singi. I'm live activitar. Adamasi amend the honey by say inserting some say Sigi Aina Pijaiba statement Matik to sentence some Adu Hapsen Viraga amend thousand by Tari. Adna Masi image amakak laiba sum governor gi address haibasi akoi adum new year gi sahi howagi wish tawudona sum tawagi mongse se tahaning de baitai aroi beda kitang सिगी पॉइंट सिदा नतबदा विश तौरे अदुगा मयाम पीरे चाही मंगागी मनुंगदा पाइखतपनी हाइबसु मेंशन तौदबा हाइबदी पाइखलिबा प्रोग्राम हाइलाइट तौरिबा गवर्नमेंट की अचीवमेंट लाखदबा मयाम सिसु हाइबदी विदिन ब्रैकेट नत्रगा सेंटेंस तुगी सिगी मरकता चाही सु हापमदबा अदुना करीनो करम कांदा पाइखतिबनो हाइबसिसु अदुम क्लियर ओइदबा हाइताई अदुना पीरिबा मयाम सिंगसे फजना मतम चंगना पाथोमगा ngसाigi commitment of all the honorable members haira dai hin haira lotion gibse nungai taba commitment of all the members haiba sidi akhoi opposition haibadi sarkar na sungta tabi hidabane ba chai mai sida haitai aduna adi commitment of all members haibagi mahutta su badum commitment of the ruling MLAs haira maga su loisalaga jan haira maga su nungai dawa aduna ngसाigi we tawre adu last the zahin na haira maga taw busida manung de yaw basing se sum sentence by sentence nei ne bada yam nungai taba aduna agriculture gi hoji across the nations farmers gi shumayam adagi leiba mayam sing agriculture bu ithau thoi bidaba adi mai duna khoina sum ujabada un tawi aduna agriculture gi pot si lakpadri khoi di rural area da leijabani roina muksu khoi rural area da leijabagi wad natana manipur ha city chingtam city lau subagi pothok yamna depend tawjaba agriculture industry ki pot yamna leijadaba maram murkhan si very important andaksi winter crop rabi crop se for example khoi gi gehu gumba adagi gram p mustard chuma linseed gumba winter ki crop singse sahi kuding ki train amo oina chatharakpa sarkar sina leiba sarkar haukiba sarkar na chatharakpa matamda through honorable MLAs through gram panchayat through district agriculture officers si mayam pi handak se pirakta basida yaudrib jala sini laiba issue si aduna sigi kharif ki khaktang emphasis piba aduga rabi gi di emphasis pi da base masi manipur as a whole haibata masi di ekhoi nungai taba sidi only within bracket ko salam bazu sentence de adum sentence ki aibada hapchal ko sudum ya ba post haptan da basin takpadi haiba agriculture ki and allied activities ki program sida government na masi hoina important oidre haina masi khanbiyu hapsan biyu aduga rabi kopsisu important oi rabi and kharif haiba sidi masidi is a two face of a coin haibadi ama yagadi ama se akhoi himbanga moidaw we cannot survive without kharif plantation kharif cropping akhoi rabi se rabi aduna masi hapsan biyo aduga masi amen tawbiyo aduga tawbiyo sigi November dagi na April bhak sida handa covid laibak thidna covid ki kari myam amai khoi lei hai ba khangi adubu si manipuri ningtham gi mahi marong si thana ba sarkar sina akhogi leiba tongan ba irrigation gi santai yojana mayam am paikhali dugi mathakta paikhatli di haiba sidi di ure aduguma adigi irrigational adigi canals adigi tongan ba activity lei aduga hairiba agriculture ki ports desida lomsingda emphasis pidragadi lomsingi requirements se pidragadi what is the use of the taking of these irrigational programs abdi lomsubagi ports na somda di pidragadi irrigation pi kanda da thoidok number oyen khanjai haba aduna masi emen tawraga masigi si hapchanaba adigi rabi gi crop sing se masi maru oi adigi mathakta madugi rabi crop se add tawba loinena masida magi scheme jing haite aina hajani ngi se scheme se state ki scheme central ki scheme mayam sing se rabi crop and kharif crop se karam ba scheme de piri gi haiba se masida Haiba Pera 85 page number 17 da Piribasa, Perigarap Amase, Pera Amase, Masidida, Wahi Amakatang, Hapsin Bamatanda, Masituna Kaining, they do not must amen to you, Duga, as per rule, Adu Masi amen to you, Hydra, Sima, a main point when I Tanzania. Adegi, sir, Sigi, Governor, Honorable Governor Gi Edesida, in view Pera number 46, page number 10. Shum kitang point naman itang inazabada. Over Pera 46 ki war against drug. Over 2,800 acres of poppy plantation destroy. Say, see destroy to river say. Yay, Tagali, the Wooddi. Destroy Tori but 2,800 ki acres है jungle area destroy Toraga poppy plantation Torim never. Yes, 2,800 acres of land. Sing the forest maya mama destroy Tori se. Akhoina poppy plantation destroy Toru Kaki Nungai Nate, but 2,800 acres di Padiam Grave. Masi deforestation Basiki Using Tongan purpose key, Adiki commercial key, Masi destroy to Basiki Matakta, poppy plantation, Gitamukta 2,800 acres, Masisu forest destroy to Tokabana. Adurgadi, destroy to river plantation to river poppy plantation to receive chair, destroy to Wokata, punishment litabra, Sneblaise. Why not there is, why not there is see punishment for those who had planted 2,080 acres of people. Easy. Koi tare. Duga yanthal bazaga sing mangre forest mangre. Kano who is the owner of the people? Che chupando. So there is some of transparency on this matter. As Shishu Dumleba, Forest Manhanba, Poppy plantation, Shu Adum Dugi Dukananu, Kino, police Nakan to father. Adi was it Karapaga, Tangsang Karapaga, hide the levels. Clearly mentioned Todova. Some points in Pazare, transparency or port Kara Hitaiko, meeting me 2,900 Haribu acres, Missikanakana, no. Police Nakayam Pagale, Hibasikan, Simazudum. High handing we am clear when I have the white tie. I do a Pazim Pazava, Hadi Habidava, I do Manundama, Dum Chien Badosum, Labor, Simasu Ama. Adagi page number 11. Sir, finance and the planning, era 51, the high. Yam Zana high finance Matangni. The state has been in overdraft for only 12 days on 31st December 2020. 31st December, the otherwise says that 12 days overdraft. Fazer, Yam Fazana Utopi, Fazana Mensato we have. Adu overdraft taribas here, Pashaka no, Halse. Clear in the high handing by Tariadum, Sidesida. Try the Mati Makana amount of Suki overlap tagre, Sentumze, Finance Department, Fazana, transparency with the high tide. Though Masi Sugumba happening by tide, Hapamina, Happy Abanina, Masi overlap Tarisi, acquires you as a member, as a citizen of this state, a quick counting overdraft tars, Gayano, Finance Department, Gramain Masi Menesto, no, Finance Department, Masiki Governor, it is a Pabi Hudra Brasini. Aduna si hapagadi finance ki matik chaba potse laini haina khanba adu haptramina laitre adu yargadi masisu hapchan biyu sini agi next 89 page 18 page 18 gida forest plantation there. In over 7,100 hectares of forest area under various schemes were taken up during Ban Mahotsava Festival 2020. Swai station asi thariba adagi forest ki tharibasi masi kaya yamna hingre adagi leiriba posi haibna singbasingsi akoi tharamaga akoi gi tokhiba kothiba adagi somdana ai ngasai gi khitang ani si poppy plantation ga the forest ka taurai si the forest ka poppy plantation gi destroy tawriba jaga singsiga mari irei inataba amadna dum manghanba amadna muk thagalakpa sumbagi pose swai singsi khara khoigi mari leina hanjaninga adagi page 21 page 24 121 sideshida the construction of two ADB assisted road, namely Tupul to Bishnupur, measuring 51 kilometers, Thawal to Kashong Kulen, measuring 47 kilometers, at cost of rupees 475.68 crores, say, was completed and open to traffic. Hey, it's okay. Yam Pazay. Adu, as far as I know, Thawal to Kashom Kulen, measuring 47 kilometers, Haibase, Masidi Loidri. That was completed, Haisi, Kramaino, Masidesida, she Karmaina department was completed, Hajil Inosini, Loidri music, Waxi undertaking Tauri, Paikali, Kola Tabagi, drainage, Tawagi, Hotpegi, Paikaliba, was completed and Hajil Eche. Masi department masi misguide Taurora to this August house. Shini, I hung in easy. Yenu Salaga Tapsuri, as was completed has a Karigin. She try areas, she do hunting, a mental hunting by time. I don't assume she Ida Puneva, don't feel the Salati Yemusio. Try Yasima, she do pew. Adegi page number 134, sorry, para 134, page 27. Masigi governor ki address है होय last some 1-2 years or adagi nakadab sahi sima yam projected oiba puram khak am uhenjning ba suru nei raga hai pai sahi tara gi ra khangdi sahi mari gi ra khangdi sahi manga gi ra khangdaba masi semai ba kholi bise masi mamangi governor address yengargo su hairap hek manabdong to Mamangi Kenosiga. Aduna Masisi clear my way together 9,680 houses were completed under phase 1 of the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. Ishubada phase 2 8,638 say she have received first installment high. Sigisi Sahi Mangaragi program give Mamangi Horokivnev. Honorable MLA Singh, adagi sahi manga ki mamang ta kaba gram panchayat ki pradhan Jarshad Singh sina recommend tau ba port ngakta ne sida lei posi aduna masigi phase 1 sina sidai sida houses were completed under phase 1 of the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin si yaba 9,680 issue loan goneba karamba yargino within the coastal Lagasahi, Ahugi Urzu, Anigi Urzu, Hapada, what is the heart of this government authority? Sahi 9,680 Haibasi Masing Kanano, a Koyanda Tamsi Kare is the me of work Grand Panchayat, Pradhanam Tazuri comment or Sabangam de Adi Zila Persetan Tazuri comment or housing of the Sabangam de, even the Kanadan Sabangam deva. Aduga Sidata Nasagi 9,680 say Masi Karamba Sahi Sagibno Kana recommend no Karagram Savada Pamaka Lira Tauhibno say very fake name. Karamtan the list or Kanda, Karamtan the recommend or Kanda Karagram Savada Pamakan the Putuki I say, see him the Putokio. Adu Karamba Beziar the period depend of no Adagi Karamanto Dramasi Sagibno Adagi Haibasisu Haidea. Adurigadi, Nasi, Honorable Governor, Nasi, the PD, adagi phase 2 and phase 1 si karam kan gino last year gira last 2 years gira we cannot understand mayam su khangum maram di maram mo ina khangde ai su khangdi aduna masigi si hasigi governor ki address the yaw mayam singse masi akhoi gi department na soiri adagi concern karam barna na soiri bno aduna masi emen to biyo masi clear oin hapsan yo just hapsan do mani akhoi masi kakthai bu sunati the equipment of the government masi yang clear biyo oh si kasu kasi kaidi sim is okay but within the bracket adagi sahi phase 1 na sahi kya pakhat pano adagi phase 2 na sahi kya pakhat pano let we understand akhoi khangan biyo member akhoi khangde kana anu huji khangbon tai biyo ba office da hangna da bida khangwe to then for sigi pose phajaba pose प्रधानमंत्री की आवाज योजना से फजर पुसे फजर करी some there is some loophole dunida pose aduna sagi leiba posida aikhoina santaurga clear oidaba posi governor की speech da khara thengni aduna masi aikhoina yamsin sai haijabse opposition haibu sum khara tabiba haibatai aikhoina ngasi bhakta sum tabi dun lakpasi sum maitaba sum piltawe in all parts in all fields aikhoina sum tawu shu nuaite aikhoina haibu khara tawiu agriculture ki farmers singi leiriba issue mayam sing sida rabi crop se yahun biu aduga sentence sama pharoi rabi crops adagi types of crops adagi name of the schemes of the state and the central government si injawiu that is okay aduga pass tawiu thank you sir for giving me some time.
Next, Honorable Member Alfred Kangam Attar.
Honorable Speaker, sir, this is the last budget session for this 11th August House. It has been my privilege and honor. I've learned a lot on how to be consistent and how to be patient. I think giving 4 years to the present government, it has shown enough of patience. I have always supported all endeavors and missions that this government has taken up. I have never shied away. I have never behaved as an opposition member. I have been with the government through thick and thin. But now the time has come for the report card to be tabled, and it is my duty as designated and delegated as a representative of this August House by the citizens of this state within this nation to bring about the facts and figures so that this state of ours may flourish, may peace prevail, and that we progress as one people, not with hidden agendas. Not when elections come, we bring about our own agendas, and after elections, all that matters is governance and being ministers and the spoils of governance. Honorable Speaker, sir, I have refrained from participating in the discussion on the Honorable Governor's address for the last 4 budgets because I take it to be secret. What the Honorable Governor says is what has been achieved, both for the past and the achievements that are to be met in the future. It is with express grief that today I beg to move amendments to the Governor's address, which I feel would make the understanding of the common citizens of our state more easy and access to governance all the more transparent. Firstly, with regard to COVID-19, both the honorable members who moved the motion for the governors on the thanks and the seconder is a very good friend of mine, honorable member. They have mentioned that under the leadership of the present Chief Minister, the state dealt with COVID-19 very firmly. I just wish to tell my two esteemed honorable colleagues that I think each and every single member of this august house, irrespective of party affiliation or treasury or opposition, have done their job in helping the government contain the situation. That was not mentioned, so I wish to mention that. Secondly, it is there in the Honorable Governor's message that this government brought back 23,000 stranded citizens of our state back under the Gamin trains, Shramik trains, sorry. Besides that, so many have come in by flight, by road. In my constituency alone, I think it's up to about 4,000 that came in. Most probably about 300-400 have gone back. The remaining are still back home and displaced. What was worrisome in the Honorable Governor's message, everything was very nice. And I agree to it. I will not even go into the details, they may be wrongs and rights, I will not go into that. But life has to go on. There is a saying, souls move on. Human beings, it is the soul that drives us. Souls will move away, but life goes on. Life will go on after us. This house will continue. This state will continue after us. Long after we are gone, it will continue. So the people that have returned, I did not see a clear-cut mention on what would be done to those persons who have been displaced and who have permanently returned, how they are to be rehabilitated, and what sort of budgetary allocation has been given for those returnees. I would very much like for the Honorable Chief Minister, who on a very personal level I have the highest regards for. He's a spirited person and a courageous person. But now, like I say, I have to also get down to the dirty part and the strong parts of governance. This part of rehabilitation is of utmost importance. Those families which have come back, they were the bread earners of thousands and thousands and thousands of families in the state. They have now come back. They are a liability to their aged parents. Who is going to provide for those families? I think it is for the government to answer. This is the reason why, with regard to COVID-19 and self-reliance, as per the heading on the first paragraph, it is very clear. It is on COVID-19 and self-reliance. The path to progress is self-reliance, and inclusive sustainability is the only way forward for our state to flourish. I have not seen any mention. At least let us forget the remaining part, the remaining citizens of the state, the returnees who have permanently been displaced. What is in store for them by this government? I would like that to be mentioned in the statement of the Honorable Governor. Next, Speaker Sir, with regard to the tribal affairs, I think it is with a reason and with a purpose and with a dedicated conviction that the Parliament of India brought in after the legislation of Article 371C into the Constitution. I have mentioned this time and again. Micromanagement cannot be done from the state headquarters. The state was already in existence. It is only when the state of Manipur came to being in 1972, full statehood. In 1971, this act was legislated as part of the Constitution. As a citizen and as a representative, it is my duty and the duty of this august house to ensure that each and every single rule of law with regard to Constitution is implemented. If we do not, we have failed ourselves as a citizen. And what more bigger right than to have citizenship by natural birth. We are all citizens of this great nation by natural birth. How many problems are there with regard to NRC? How many families are being displaced because of NRC and the National Population Register? Today, we, the custodians of this august house, honorable Speaker, Sir, you, as the leader of this house, or as the custodian of this house, why is it that we fear to implement what is there in the Constitution? It is only to ease governance, and it is only to empower the people in the hills who are poverty-stricken. A small example, the returnees, Speaker, sir, just about 4,000 who returned from my constituency. Out of the 4,000, I speak here today under oath because I've taken oath on the first day in this August House. Under oath I say, 99% of those returnees are all in unskilled lines. No skills. They're all in the hospitality sector because by birth, by nature, the people are hospitable. What do they earn? Peanuts. Why has this come about today? That when all the youth come back, we inquired, interviews after interviews with villagers, and they all reply back saying, I'm working in a spa, I'm working in a beauty salon, I'm working in a store, I'm working in a hotel. Speaker, sir, there are two categories of citizens who are not domiciles of the state, who are residing here. One is the very affluent high class, which is the officers of the Indian Administrative Service, the Indian Forest Service, Indian Police Service, or the higher echelons of society, and the business class, which are also very well-to-do. And the other category are the workers. The workers who come here from outside the state, they all live from hand to mouth. They are not educated. They have nothing in their villages. Ours is not that. Ours are at least educated, at least till the 10th, till the 12th. There is no sustenance. Why is that so? From the first day of this August House, I mentioned on Article 371C, this state feels like I am challenging the authenticity and the integrity of this House. Speaker, sir, if I may remind you, I am party and parcel to the first August, the session of this August House, when we passed the resolution saying that we stand by the integrity of this House. What more do you want from me? Do you want me to cut my fingers to prove my allegiance to this state? But my allegiance to this state cannot be taken for granted, saying that whether rule of law is implemented or not, we will not care. When that is the case, Speaker, sir, then the very integrity of this House is in question. How can anybody ever question the integrity of this House? It will be only when the rule of law does not prevail. Article 371C, I've mentioned again and again, again and again, again and again. This time also, I have not seen it come to the Hill Committee, neither has it gone to the district councils, because it is so very clear in this rule book. This book, which is sacred to all of us, we follow this rule book for everything that we do, Speaker, sir. Page 160, the second schedule. Schedule matters 1. Development and economic planning within the planned location of the hill areas. In every single budget, Speaker, sir, there is the hill section and the valley section. It is all categorized into hill and valley, Why? I wish to know why. It is because this rule says, with regard to the hill areas, the development and economic planning within the planned allocation of the hill areas should be done by the Hill Committee. It has never happened. Should we not strengthen it rather than weaken it? It is because we are weakening it that our people are being further and further apart. We have to strengthen our institutions, and the rule of law has to prevail upon everything else. Speaker, sir, my humble submission before this August House to the rectification of the Honorable Governor's statement is that Article 371C would prevail. And on top of that, Speaker, sir, page 158 of this August House rule, it says, the governor shall have special responsibility for securing the proper functioning of the Hill Leaders Committee in accordance with the provisions of this order, and shall, in the discharge of his special responsibility, act in his discretion. Is this the Speaker's, Honorable Governor's discretion? Speakers, I don't think so. I beseech and urge this August House, Honorable Speaker, sir, to insert that Article 371C, at least with the economic planning and development of the hill areas, will reign supreme. Further, Speaker, sir, the Autonomous District Council elections. Rule of law is very clear. The same second schedule says the constitution and the power and functioning of the district council in the hill areas is mandated to the Hill Areas Committee. Hill Areas Committee has recommended very clearly that before the 30th of November, elections to the district councils are to take place. No matter what the compulsions of the government under the Honorable Leader of the House, I think it is time that the elections are conducted. There's no mention on when and how and where it's to be done. When we're weakening the local self-governance, when we weaken our institutions, we weaken ourselves. How can we weaken our own selves and say that we are progressing, we are flourishing? Speaker, sir, I wish for the Honorable Governor's message include the status of the Honorable District Council elections at the earliest. Honorable Speaker, sir, with regard to education, you know I have always been vociferous. A lot of honorable ministers of this House have taken it personal also, I know. But yet, outside the House, we have remained a very cordial relationship. I'm grateful. Speaker, sir, you have always given me time with regard to education, as I know you also believe in that. Educating our youth is empowering our future. All these programs that I have seen, all these messages that I have seen, these are all appeasement and grants. Empty buildings. I see so many empty buildings across the state. Honorable Speaker, sir, you come to Polytechnic, you come to the ITI, you go in my district. Let us go to Singhat, Saikot, go anywhere. 80% of the structures are empty, with nothing functioning. We do not want empty buildings. We need for it to be used. Speaker, sir, in the year 2020, month of June, a number of around 4,000 teachers under project, they were absorbed into the state. Once they are absorbed into the state, this order is very clear, then it means that they will be paid the salaries by the state. Whereas these 4,000 posts, primary teachers, upper primary teachers and graduate teachers, financial sanction is already there by the Ministry of Human Resource Development. After they have been absorbed into the state, this amount for their salary, for the project teacher's salary, cannot be used for payment of these teachers any longer, because they are now state employees. That is the rule of law. So, since there is a vacancy of 4,000 teachers, it would have been in the interest of the state, before absorption, all these 4,000 project teachers, for which their pay and salaries, they would lapse at the end of the year. Because you cannot use the project salary for paying state employee salaries. If you are using project money for paying state employees, then that is illegal by law. So which means there is a vacancy of 4,000 teachers. And this salary is being paid by the MHRD, 15,000 for primary teachers, 20,000 for upper primary, and 25,000 for graduate teachers. Speaker, sir, when the government of India is giving all the salary 100% for the projects, should they not have recruited immediately? Whereas we are fighting for one maths teacher, one science teacher, every single member of this august house keeps fighting for his or her one school or two schools for teachers. And here, there is a vacancy of 4,000 teachers that have come up. I would wish that in the Honorable Governor's message, this vacancy be addressed and that this will be recruited within the next month or so. Honorable Speaker, sir, I have seen the Honorable Leader of the House attending conclaves in places other than Manipur. He has promoted our state wherever he goes with regard to tourism. In one such conclave, he specifically mentioned about the growth of tourism in the state by organizing festivals at very large scale. Just a small example is the Shri festival. Thanks to him that today across the globe people know of a place called Ukhrul, which nobody earlier, only the people from Manipur. In fact, people from Manipur also, way down corners of Paimuk or in Tamenglong, Tamei, people who did not hear of Ukhrul, everybody knows of Ukhrul today because of Shri festival. But speakers, it is not for festivities. Our people are not here to enjoy life and to make a merry of living. Speaker, sir, it is with the organizing of such programs that we bring in tourists throughout the year. I know for a fact it would have done the government a lot of good if they had just put in the data of a week, 1 week of 2019 Shri Festival, what was the income generated to the locals? How best we can promote tourism and how this will create a sustainability within the people of the state. Ebb in borrowings, everybody is in financial debt. How do we ease that? The potential of promoting tourism, not just, yes, the Honorable Chief Minister's first mission of emotional integration has worked to great wonders. Our people are so much more united than when we were earlier. But it cannot just be emotional integration. People have to be economically strong. That is how the state will remain united and we will work as one. But when everybody is living in abject poverty, and people do not think of festivals or they do not think of integrities anymore, sir. This is why the potential of Shirui, the potential of Sangai, the potential of Barak, the potential of Kut Festival, the potential of Orange Festival, the potential of so many festivals across. Organizing it in such a way that we attract visitors from across the globe and the revenues generated through that. I would like for the Governor's address to mention that. Honorable Speaker, sir, the Honorable Governor's message has been clear. There has been so much of good done. All of this is a report card of the years to come. My esteemed Honorable colleague, Megha Chandra, has gone into the details. I slept last night, I think, at about 2:30. We're grateful to you, Speaker, sir. I mentioned now, let me take time to say that since you allowed us to submit it this morning. Otherwise, if it was yesterday, I don't know how we would have read it also. I completed it about 2 o'clock. So, Speaker, sir, all these details, it doesn't go back to when it was, how it was, which year, whatever. Let us assume it was all done during the time of this present government. It was in the last budget session that I had asked specifically about the gross domestic product and the per capita income of this state of ours. Speaker, sir, if, as per this report card, as per how we are doing, how well we have, what we have achieved in all these years, we would not be last in the per capita income in the country. We are last there. Why are we last? This data has to be made available to all district officers, to all honorable members, so that at least we know where our weaknesses are. We cannot shy away from our weaknesses. The strength of a person is tested in the time of crisis. This is what my honorable colleague from the ruling benches, Dr. Ranjan, just spoke some few minutes back. Strength of persons are tested in the time of crisis. Speaker, sir, this is a crisis where we are the last with the per capita income in the country. It is a crisis. We have to stand up to this together as one. Where are the core areas? Honorable Speaker, sir, unless this is addressed, no matter what you say on paper, the report card is the GDP and the per capita income. Without this, everything else is useless to us. Speaker, sir, I would like to move that the Honorable Governor's address mention in detail about the gross domestic product of our state and where we stand and how the government proposes to change the figure that we are in today. Speaker, sir, with regard to elections, I know this is a burning matter, delimitation. I myself, as a representative of this august house, feel that this is a matter that cannot be touched. It should not be. But just because I feel so, does it mean that rule of law should be trampled over and that we should just bulldoze over it and let it go? We cannot. There is so much of heartburn. One constituency to go out from Vishnupur here, from here. Everybody is redrawing constituencies and I don't have constituency, I don't have. Speaker, sir, we are sent here for 5 years. It will hardly matter. We are here for 5 years. We represent citizens of this country and of this state. My allegiance is not to my electorate, it is to the Constitution. Within the constitutional boundaries am I bound to my electorate. Provisions are very clear, but the limitations have to be taken up. Speaker, sir, one core major problem today is, it is because the limitation, when it was last done in the 70s, the hills got just 20 seats and the valley got 40. Population also was so sparsely populated that time. The distribution was very sparse. Today, we have 50% of the population in the hills. But how can I say, let me take up 10 from the valley, give me 10? It is injustice because you have the population, you have the electorate, you have the people there. We cannot do that. So, this issue has to be addressed. Maybe not in the way that the people do want it, but in a way better, that will accommodate the aspirations and the wishes and the will of the people. And once we do that, this state will be supreme. Speaker, sir, the delimitation, I would propose that in the Honorable Governor's message, this House unanimously should move that for the delimitation exercise of the state, the strength from 60 should be increased to 100, so that we can address the issues that are prevalent because of delimitation. Speaker, sir, it is not willingly that today I am under the category of scheduled area. It is because of the socio-economic status from the time India came into being that I have been categorized as scheduled tribe. I so wish that with the lapse of time, we also become part of the general category. Why not? We have to, we should. There are so many among the scheduled category who are doing so much better than general category. Why should they not be moved out from the scheduled category to general category? Yes, I do recommend that. But till such time, the rule of law is there, and the hills of Manipur are scheduled areas. Within that scheduled area, constituencies have to be strengthened and more constituencies have to be added. I would request that the Honourable Governor's message address that too. Lastly, Speaker, sir, in the first session of this August House, in the budget session, I had asked on the status of the suspension of operations within the state of Manipur. This reply was given to me on the 31st/7/2017. The statement was laid. All the groups' names are here. There are two groups. One is the KNO, one is the UPF. Modalities are very clear. Settlement also is very clear. Under this, it's all given very clearly. In the last 4 budget sessions, I've never heard about the progress of these talks. The state government is a party to it. The state government is a signatory to it. So also the central government. Is it not the bounden duty of this August House to ensure that speedy resolution to all conflicts are arrived at the earliest? I would like for the Honourable Governor's address to mention that under the suspension of operations with whichever groups, the talks will be completed at the earliest. Until such time, the talks are continuing. Speaker, sir, is given here. Settlement of Kuki people's political demand within the framework of the Indian Constitution. If it says within the Indian Constitution, it means they are citizens of this nation. If they are citizens of this nation, they can do no such thing that will go against what a citizen should and should not do. Time and again, I've heard of SO groups who have gone out, capture polling stations for elections. They go out for whatever personal purposes of theirs. This has to stop. And for this, the Unified Command Chairman is no other than the Honourable Leader of the House. I think he can very easily rein this in to make sure that no political party, no individual uses the SOO groups for their personal reasons. If they do so, we as members would be constrained to start using very strong language, Speaker, sir. And thus, I would refrain from at all points of time till absolutely necessary. This is why today I speak out very clearly on behalf of all, especially the tribal areas, that the suspension of operation groups, since they have agreed to abide by the Constitution of India, that they remain within the realm of the Constitution and be good citizens. Speaker, secondly, with regard to law and order, there was a very long band in the year 2016. How many of individuals, domiciles of this state, were beaten black and blue? How much of suffering the citizens of the state had to go through because of those bans? The bans were called against the creation of new districts. Speaker, sir, creation of new districts, I am all for development, for infrastructure, for inclusiveness, for sustainability. Who would not be? But Speaker, sir, today it is with pain. Districts that were created by the members who are in the opposition today. At that point of time, it was the Honourable Leader of the Opposition who was ruling the state. So many districts were created, and because of the creation of those districts, untold hardships were to face, Speaker. How difficult it was for us to contest elections. Speakers are under oath. I have never negotiated, neither have I ever met any elements which are not constitutional and citizen to win elections. Free and fair, by the will and wish of the people, I have come here. That is why there is no fear inside. I speak what is the fact and what is the truth. What is the status of that? The day the Congress government, it was just to ensure a falling of the Congress government, then go against the Congress. But since it was against a particular demand, I would like to know the actual status of where the government stands with regard to the newly created districts. Lastly, Speaker Sir, I am from 44 Ukhrul constituency. This is the manifesto of 2017. This manifesto is of the Naga People's Front, Speaker Sir. They are a part of the ruling coalition. I would just like to mention the preamble. During the elections, they got their votes using this, Speaker Sir. It is of utmost importance.
The details of the budget discussion, general discussion.
Speaker Sir, I'm ending. Just another 1-2 minutes, I'm ending, Speaker Sir.
Yes.
Speaker Sir, this has relevance to government because since they are part of government and it has not been mentioned in the last 4 budgets. It has never been mentioned by the governor. This is a very, very serious issue concerning the state, the status of the Indo-Naga peace talks. This is very serious. There's a group who have won elections basing everything on the Indo-Naga peace talks. And today they are just ministers. Besides that, governance, nothing. They have to make it clear to the people that they are winning elections only for governance.
General discussion,
Speaker Sir, Speaker Sir, let me end.
Yeah, please.
Speaker Sir, I will end. I'm grateful. Speaker Sir. Speaker Sir, you will not know the pain that our people go through. Beaten black and blue, hunted. And you expect me to just come here and then eat and drink and then go back home happy. I cannot sleep at night, Speaker Sir. 2 of my PROs have passed away because of beatings. They have literally passed away. Speaker Sir, what is their status? What is the status of the Indo-Naga peace talks? I would like to know from the Honorable Governor's statement. Indo-Naga peace talks, this concerns a huge area of Manipur. Because, Speaker Sir, I am Tangkhul Naga. The leader of the NSNIM in this talks is Tangkhul Naga. Why should we not discuss? Why should this House not discuss? I have stood firm to say that I will stand by the integrity. I am here without fear or favor. I am here, I'm saying. Against all odds, I am here to stand firm for this state. But yet it's our duty to discuss such troubling issues, to make sure that we can address the issue and then bring about a solution at the earliest. Why should this House not recommend to the Government of India to expedite? At the same time, while maintaining the integrity of this state, why should this House not? It is the demand, it is the aspiration of the people that the long-drawn Indo-Naga peace talks be brought to a conclusion while maintaining the integrity of the state. What is the harm in doing that? Why should we not? Why did the NPF not bring this up all these years, 4 years? And they have started, Speaker Sir, already for district council elections, warning, saying that now the time has come again. Speaker Sir, I would wish that the governor's address can at least add this, so that the people that have voted us today here, they are assuaged that they are indeed living in a democracy that is vibrant, that is free of fear, and that the citizenship of an individual is supreme in this country. Thank you, Speaker Sir, for the time you have given me.
Next, Honorable Member Singh, Amendment Singh, Thambigrabina, Honorable Leader of the House, Chairman Thambigan.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I questions ang sagi amendment pukut iba kagi mayam si 1 by 1 clarification to the ngai da han makta da
House member Punamak COVID-19 adugumba yamna unknown enemy pandemic thengna House member Punamak aduga Manipuri praja Punamak amato oina lepaga thengna minakiba adugidamakta government gi mai House gi leader munai punong ko appreciate to thagat saba hongdok sari hoi ngasai haibi gi sing do ai one by one oina clarification masa amon dang ai sit tok jege na the general way laga di matam su thengani lunch hours to hogdrobina governor gi speech generally yamna bahut minutes oina tawnade point khara dang yauraga maduda dum thabakta elaborate tawkhibani honorable members no pukhatir kiba potu yahunningi habi we do welcome we point me am yahunningi yaurdi hen fani habi madu I welcome to it but time be constraint aduga potugi amna thaba kada pot oigidaba adu pot mar moira ka khoina loina ma accommodate to bungam da bani adu high but team to really ba points into the honorable governor gi speech da loina yaure hainai honorable speaker sir I han thamjage adu ga masai dai khoina khitang ragi one by one hang bi rakhiba du dai aina clarification masa khara sum tugjerubada honorable member senate member ke Govindas na environment की करी मतंग दा Loktak की करी पन खोते ना है तो yes आई कोई environment फगतन बा है वो general अमसल कांदा Loktak की कोई ना करी specific कंट्री ना है कांदा उसी Loktak किसी नीति आयोग ने दी recommend होगा ADB दगी Asian Development Bank दगी लोग बा पोर मोए बा नीति आयोग ने recommend तो भी itself असो बा युगी दी estimate ना project ohuni achoba niti ayuna recommend obviously koigi Loktak ki comprehensive plan tomator kana 1400 nearly adwagi amma adu lamfiel gi nearly 600 amma aduga koigi serious gi second phase 1 amma hanagi togire serious aduga second phase gi 1000 something amma high project ohum se niti ayogna recommend obani adubu kainoda ADB ki karigi yari have pol limina akoina general oina thamaga sir detail oina pandabani duma adugo hiki civil secretariat karigi ngasai project mayam loisan bagi pande habadu yes specific amama moy pandabagi wane koi project sin loisan laga lai mama gi government to gimba dolai thabi project loisan laga lai adagi Thawal multi-purpose project loisal lae abi hojik secretary asing ba thengi ba madam si court case le dagi court case matang option na padagi thengi ne adu dakili hantak ti madu high court gi ruling number kan na final judgment na madu gi matam lep ta thaba hobu ya bi adugumba lung sawa leire aduna thum matam da soinu loisal lagani aduga pangi da sidi volume in ain size bodo yamna thaga da one by one win pan le raga dingam bodigi pandabani haidana adu mai thamjage aduga tomisa market ki kari already thaba hogre tomisa market ki thaba hogna khona subo hogre hana pending le ramba zai aba le ramba singdo adagi amana khoigi sports complex ki ngai panbiram mada mission na ba kari tabe khot ke da ha loina pandabagi wani hoji khoi ukhrugi sanga ki adagi si sandil gi hoji loidam gredi leire adagi kanogi tamilongi hoji 80% loire hai busin one by one khoina pandabagi wani adwa khoi hana tawrum ma lotion na lebe port ma su loina lotion gi oi ba yamna speedy progress li hena dumaina thamjage mathang da ai marumjit kisu samane saigi palanningbagi yahonningbagi haibi bani adu aina ngasai leiriba space leiriba time constraint aduni yengaga banba ngamjadabni bungasai point di extra rice matamdu da I honorable member punam am appreciate tawui khoina adagi siang pirakpana prime minister gi siang pira iba ki manga free de yelo haibuna ekhoi gi sek data da yawung tawui socio-economic census da yawba card pai bu nga ko aduga atai akhoi study socio-economic census da yawda bu hunto mayam ama leibanya honorable MLAs gi local area development fund gi ekhoi formal orders thokse gi be hari bu sigi 100,000 rupees fund gi lupa asuk tumaina sidai da sinaba yare sinaba yare aduma to rukanda mayam na loina puthoga set the yobu karanatana mayam put magloina tungno yen birakanda we praja singh awado men min na kibani punna adugi damakta yan appreciate tawi ado labak thibadi adugumba seng khara bazar da lising sangwa da adu waru matam lising sangwa di fangi tai da di fangdraga habadu madu regretted maram di matam du da ekhoi di madugi paudu phangiti ngasi husik honorable member na habirakana khansine madu madugumba thoki badugi nuataba Hongkong yaringi koi yam systematically later lairaba awaba lockdown na maram moira kana curfew na maram moira kana pan thok ngamdraba aduma praja awaba singdu da tawbunina tawkhibani adu ko hoi matam du da thokhiba ngasai airport ga lakha private kainogi airline sing adu gumba singdu koi pochu amata loina mangangi phagi aduga matung da su thingki madu laibak thibani koi case lokalaga kaino to ki amna ngasai ai kinra kwamana phaba zarda phawi de hek pani sidi ki adum phanai da kwamana zarda phaba si adum kai kai no phane to case pale mi phai case lei moi mi du su dum phai haje ko adugum bodo hayeng question award specific oina kanano kaino do home gi lei bini dum lak piraga tawjage adum di ai kendra da su phai atai kendra su kendra di leader du loi pal le ya ro sidi megai de su kaino amana kayano thamdana sumyam phadai the drug thaba factory leiram na fai mari bhajeri adona salam tu dia raduna uziki potu mi fai identified awi port phazli loina di affair ge gelin lei dum ai hayeng question award ma kari dum da adum ai da le rega de bizege adina sai am no ai tabana eno do IRB ko yore ise ko ju mayamsu loin sena atani ko ju sena sing de lani mari ra kasla amina adum masigi badnam side dum pida mamangi tam da su dum akhoina paisa logdra su IRB how ki police how ki mayam logdra su ba khairi sidi na samarun haidu summe adum masidi pi thawri kan gi mayam dum khai gi dum de khai di bam de yode which so hairam gani tobudu ai honorable members in house I am clearly I hanasu thamjai mediasu samjai paisa pigena lakba thabak gi paisa sigi paisa gi na taga du gi yaring gi mi di thabak tong ning mai pigena lakni ai khoina lodra ga loire haiba pot nam ko principal am ko thamje na koi khanab ni mayam ai koi aduna ai mayam du so pil tawjari tong thabak tong ning mai ai na mayam gi Nabi Mali, you don't talk money, you never post a lap pay the coin and log druggle. Use it, Maki, when the Kana, Nak, Tari Pina, any pun pinner, they can hide is kindly proculator the Amoy, proculator the Mado, evidence collective. Far Kana the Pido, shame the Pido, DG the Pido, are they come the Pido, no come MLA the Pido, Kangmangami. Thingmangami, Thingminas Maduma, I Sagi, honorable member Potway. Support we madhum simadi thingminasi ade amana sagi anti corruption series am phajana work to hana aigida office test regular mani adubu hujiti pura vigilance pura anti corruption department we won thok randa vigilance police department mo anti corruption we na work to hon mani masidai da dum case phane am so dum locally adum thepya ba to we ba dum to aduna thoidong yam ka hena kaino hekta corruption na hekta harba hekta pangtau tu tongning ba tau ba du gumagi potu leiti no mayamna ngana bana mani ado without evidence without proof ngana ba tu di madudi ekhoi machine mel mungamde ado ka evidence le ba proof le ba ado ragdi akoi law abiding citizen ni khoi akoi government lady akoi tap chaba adu action logjake nai honorable member from the Thamjake ꯑꯞꯁꯄꯥꯒꯤ ꯗꯨ ꯆꯨꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯥꯔꯝ ꯐꯣꯔꯁꯦꯁ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯦꯁꯤꯌꯦꯜ ꯄꯥꯋꯔꯗꯤ ꯃꯇꯝꯗꯨꯗ ꯃꯥꯡꯗ ꯐꯝꯕꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯂꯤꯗꯔ ꯑꯣꯐ ꯗꯤ ꯍꯥꯎꯁ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯆꯤꯐ ꯃꯤꯅꯤꯁꯇꯔꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯅꯣꯏ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯃꯅꯣꯔꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯗ ꯆꯠꯂꯒ ꯂꯥꯎꯊꯣꯛꯑꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯟ ꯑꯃꯒ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟ ꯃꯇꯝꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟꯅꯁꯨ ꯗꯤꯁꯤꯖꯟ ꯂꯧꯕꯤꯈꯤ ꯑꯦꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯁꯤꯌꯦꯠ ꯇꯧꯏ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯤꯗꯔꯁ ꯃꯇꯝꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯂꯤꯗꯔꯁ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯦꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯁꯤꯌꯦꯠ ꯇꯧꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯂꯧꯕꯤꯈꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯍꯧꯔꯤꯕ ꯈꯔꯁꯤ ꯂꯧꯊꯣꯛꯅꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯇꯛꯅꯗꯕ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯇꯛꯅꯗꯕꯗꯤ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯇꯧꯕꯁꯤꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯁꯁꯄꯦꯟꯁꯟ ꯑꯣꯐ ꯑꯣꯄꯔꯦꯁꯟꯅꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯅꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯒꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯅꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤꯡꯁꯤ ꯄꯨꯔꯥ ꯁꯦꯇꯜ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯅꯠꯇꯕ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯅ ꯑꯜꯐꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯈꯤꯕ NSNIMꯒꯤꯁꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯄꯨꯔꯥ ꯁꯦꯇꯜ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯈꯨꯠꯂꯥꯏ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯛꯅꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯑꯣꯏꯗꯕ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯁꯁꯄꯦꯟꯁꯟ ꯑꯣꯐ ꯑꯣꯄꯔꯦꯁꯟꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯀꯥꯡꯕꯨꯁꯨ ꯈꯨꯠꯂꯥꯏ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯛꯅꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯗꯕ ꯉꯔꯥꯡ ꯅꯍꯥꯟ ꯄꯣꯛꯈꯥꯏꯕ ꯌꯥꯕꯅꯤ ꯈꯪꯗꯦ ꯌꯥꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯈꯪꯗꯦ ꯒꯚꯔꯅꯔꯒꯤꯗ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯂꯧꯅꯕꯅꯤ ꯈꯪꯗꯦ ꯕꯣꯝ ꯊꯥꯖꯤꯟꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯇꯧꯕꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯁꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯈꯔ ꯂꯩꯕꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯥ ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯍꯦꯛꯇ ꯕ꯭ꯔꯟꯂꯤ ꯍꯦꯛꯇ ꯂꯧꯊꯣꯛ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯇꯧꯒꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗꯁꯨ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯍꯦꯟꯗꯤꯀꯦꯞ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯈꯔ ꯂꯩ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯑꯥꯏ ꯁꯤꯌꯣꯔ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯇꯛꯅꯕ ꯂꯦꯞꯇ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯌꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯁꯤ ꯑꯥꯔꯝ ꯐꯣꯔꯁꯦꯁ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯦꯁꯤꯌꯦꯜ ꯄꯥꯋꯔ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯂꯣ ꯑꯦꯟ ꯑꯣꯔꯗꯔꯁꯤ ꯑꯌꯥꯝꯕꯁꯨ ꯐꯒꯠꯂꯛꯑꯦ ꯅꯣꯔꯃꯦꯜꯂꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯈꯪꯉꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯅ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯙꯥꯟ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯍꯤꯡ ꯗꯨꯀꯥꯟ ꯊꯣꯡ ꯍꯥꯡꯉꯦ ꯆꯠꯄ ꯉꯝꯃꯦ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯆꯤꯡ ꯂꯣꯏ ꯐ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯦ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯇꯤ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯦꯞ ꯈꯔ ꯃꯔꯛꯇ ꯊꯣꯛꯄ ꯅꯠꯇꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯁ꯭ꯋꯥꯒꯤꯁꯤꯃ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯁꯦꯔꯁꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯀꯟꯇꯤꯅ꯭ꯌꯨꯁꯂꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯦꯁꯔ ꯄꯤꯕ ꯂꯧꯊꯣꯛꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯕ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯦꯞꯇꯅ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤꯃꯒ ꯑꯩ ꯊꯝꯖꯒꯦ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯂꯧꯐꯝ ꯀꯟꯕꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯆꯨꯝꯃꯦ ꯉꯔꯥꯡ ꯅꯍꯥꯟꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯤꯃ ꯁꯦꯝꯍꯧꯗ꯭ꯔꯗꯤ ꯂꯧꯁꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯦꯟ ꯂꯣꯛꯀ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯦ ꯄꯣꯠꯊꯣꯛ ꯂꯩꯔꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯀꯃꯤꯇꯤ ꯁꯦꯝꯃꯒ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯗ꯭ꯔꯥꯏꯚ ꯇꯧꯔꯤ ꯒꯥꯔꯤ ꯐꯥꯒꯠꯄ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯆꯩ ꯐꯥꯒꯠꯄ ꯑꯗꯩ ꯌꯨꯝ ꯁꯥꯕꯗ ꯁꯤꯖꯤꯟꯅꯔꯝꯕ ꯀꯩꯀꯩ ꯐꯥꯒꯠꯄ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯉꯔꯥꯡ ꯅꯍꯥꯟ ꯉꯁꯤꯒꯤꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯦꯃꯦꯟꯃꯦꯟ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯥꯛꯀꯅꯤ ꯑꯦꯃꯦꯟꯃꯦꯟ ꯑꯃꯈꯛ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯁꯤꯛ ꯇꯧꯔꯤꯁꯤ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯤꯅꯣꯗ 2014ꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯕꯁꯤꯡꯗꯣ 14ꯗ ꯑꯦꯛ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯅꯤ ꯑꯦꯛꯇꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯕꯁꯤꯡꯗꯣ ꯀꯔꯝꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯅ ꯀꯌꯥꯗ ꯗꯦꯠ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯅ ꯄꯦꯅꯥꯜꯇꯤ ꯄꯤꯔꯒ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯇꯧꯁꯤꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯗꯤꯇꯦꯜ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯦꯛꯇꯨꯗ ꯌꯥꯎꯍꯧꯗꯕꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯑꯦꯃꯦꯟꯃꯦꯟ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯟꯗꯛꯀꯤꯁꯤꯗ ꯁꯤ ꯁꯦꯁꯟꯁꯤꯗ ꯄꯨꯈꯠꯆꯔꯛꯏ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣই ꯍꯥꯟꯅꯒꯤ 14ꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯗ ꯇꯧꯔꯝꯕꯗꯨꯒꯩꯅ ꯄꯦꯅꯥꯜꯇꯤ ꯄꯤꯔꯒ ꯅꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯒ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ 14ꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯒꯤꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ ꯁꯦꯇꯦꯂꯥꯏꯠ ꯃꯦꯞꯄꯤꯡ ꯀꯔꯤꯗ ꯑꯅꯧꯕ ꯁꯥꯒꯠꯂꯛꯄꯁꯤꯡ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯌꯥꯕ ꯁꯨꯛꯄꯤ ꯄꯤꯗꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯂꯦꯟꯂꯦꯁ ꯀꯥꯡꯕꯨ ꯈꯛꯇꯗ 0.20 10 ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯄꯤꯕ ꯔꯨꯜꯁꯇꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯂꯩꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯀꯦꯕꯤꯅꯦꯠ ꯁꯕ ꯀꯃꯤꯇꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯈꯟꯅꯔꯒ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯇꯧꯁꯤꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯣ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯅꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯊꯤꯡꯕꯒꯤ ꯊꯕꯛꯁꯤꯃ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯃꯥꯁ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯦꯕ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯗꯤꯁꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯛꯇ MLR ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯟ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯦꯕ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯗꯤꯁꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯛꯇ ꯃꯁꯤꯃꯗꯤ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯆꯠꯊꯔꯤꯌꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯊꯝꯖꯒꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔ ꯃꯦꯘꯒꯤꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯃꯔꯨꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯅꯤ ꯈꯥꯔꯤꯐ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯔꯕꯤꯒꯤ ꯑꯦꯒ꯭ꯔꯤꯀꯜꯆꯔꯦꯜ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯗꯛꯁꯤꯗꯩꯗ ꯁꯦꯜꯐ ꯔꯤꯂꯥꯏꯟꯠ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯇꯧꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯃꯗꯨꯗꯩꯗ ꯃꯔꯨ ꯃꯔꯥꯡ ꯃꯔꯝ ꯆꯥꯅ ꯐꯪꯗꯕ ꯈꯣꯠꯇꯕ ꯌꯦꯟꯊꯣꯛꯇꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕꯒꯤ ꯄꯣꯠꯁꯤꯡꯗꯨ ꯄꯜꯍꯟꯅꯤꯡꯉꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯗꯤꯇꯦꯜ ꯆꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯒꯁꯨ ꯑꯩ ꯍꯥꯎꯁꯇ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯑꯦꯁꯨꯔꯦꯟꯁ ꯄꯤꯖꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯈꯥꯔꯤꯐꯀꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯣ ꯔꯕꯤꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯣ ꯗꯔꯀꯥꯔ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯃꯔꯨ ꯃꯔꯥꯡ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯑꯃꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯁꯨꯡꯁꯣꯏ ꯁꯣꯏꯗꯅ ꯃꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯐꯪꯍꯟꯅꯕ at the best level ꯐꯪꯅꯕꯗꯨꯃ ꯑꯩ ꯃꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯒꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯒꯤ ꯌꯨꯝꯒꯤꯁꯤ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯁꯣꯁꯤꯌꯣ ꯏꯀꯣꯅꯣꯃꯤꯛ ꯀꯥꯁ ꯁꯦꯟꯁꯁꯀꯤꯗ ꯌꯥꯎꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯗꯇꯥꯁꯤꯗ ꯌꯥꯎꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯏꯚꯟ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯈꯪꯗꯅ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯐꯦꯁ ꯕꯥꯏ ꯐꯦꯁ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯄꯩꯁా ꯊꯥꯔꯛꯄ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯅꯅꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ PMAYꯒꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯇꯧꯅꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ मधु हयेंग मधु जनरल डिस्कशन लेरी डिपार्टमेंट वाइज लाकनी करिंगबा ऑनरेबल मेंबर डिटेल्स पांबिरगदि मदिरा डिटेल दम हंगबिरगा इकुने ngसाई सही बंदे लास्ट 4 इयर की 3 इयर्स का हाइबन सिंगबो मधु टाइमली मदिदा कोई क्लैरिफाई तौनना तौजगे ना दमाय थाजगे अदु ngसाई ꯄꯣꯄꯤꯁꯦ ꯄꯣꯄꯤꯒꯤꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯅꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤꯁꯤ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁꯀꯤꯁꯤ ꯔꯤꯖꯥꯔꯚ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯥꯏꯚꯦꯠꯀꯤ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯃꯈꯜ ꯃꯈꯥꯒꯤ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯔꯤꯖꯥꯔꯚ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁꯁꯤꯁꯨ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁꯀꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯀꯦꯄꯥꯁꯤꯇꯤ ꯃꯦꯟ ꯄꯥꯋꯔ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯀꯔꯤꯁꯤꯅ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯌꯦꯡꯉ ꯀꯧꯕ꯭ꯔꯨꯁꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯅꯦ ꯔꯤꯖꯥꯔꯚ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁ ꯃꯇꯦꯛ ꯌꯥꯎ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯀꯧꯕ꯭ꯔꯨꯒꯤ ꯔꯤꯖꯥꯔꯚ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁꯁꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯎ ꯂꯩꯇ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯇꯦꯛꯇꯦꯗ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯆꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯤꯜ ꯏꯅꯥꯎꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯈꯨꯟꯒꯤꯅꯦꯅ ꯁꯤꯖꯤꯟꯅꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤ ꯇꯁꯦꯡꯕꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯑꯦꯁ ꯄꯔ ꯔꯨꯜꯁ ꯃꯁꯤꯁꯤ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟꯅ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯇꯦꯛꯇꯦꯗ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁꯀꯤ ꯃꯈꯥꯗ ꯔꯨꯜꯁ ꯁꯦꯝꯃꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯔꯤꯒꯨꯂꯦꯠ ꯇꯧ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯤ ꯃꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯔꯤꯒꯨꯂꯦꯁꯟꯁꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯗꯕ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯇꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯁꯦꯝꯒꯦꯅ ꯇꯧ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯅꯣꯏꯅ ꯈꯨꯟꯁꯤ ꯇꯥꯔꯒꯁꯨ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯖꯒꯥꯁꯤꯐꯥꯎ ꯅꯣꯏ ꯁꯦꯟꯅꯕ ꯌꯥꯏ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯖꯒꯥꯁꯤꯐꯥꯎ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯁꯦꯟꯅꯧ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯒꯗꯕꯒꯤ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯃꯆꯥꯛꯁꯦ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯗꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯇꯦꯛꯇꯦꯗ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁꯀꯤꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯁꯤꯡꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯂꯨꯞ ꯍꯣꯜ ꯈꯔ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯕꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯦꯗꯚꯥꯟꯇꯦꯖ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯂꯧꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯄꯣꯄꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯥꯟꯇꯦꯁꯟꯒꯤ ꯇꯧꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ 49 ꯀꯦꯁꯦꯁ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯂꯨꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯥꯛ ꯆꯥꯎꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯄꯣꯄꯤ ꯊꯥꯔꯝꯃꯤꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯄꯨꯁꯨ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯇꯕ ꯂꯝꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯄꯇꯥ ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯂꯦꯟ ꯁꯤꯅꯦꯁꯨ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯅꯠꯇꯕ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯍꯦꯟꯗꯤꯀꯦꯞ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯁꯤꯆꯨꯋꯦꯁꯟ ꯑꯃꯅꯦ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯂꯣꯏꯗꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯔꯦ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯂꯣꯏꯗꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯔꯦꯗꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯆꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯑꯦꯔꯤꯌꯥꯗ ꯎ ꯄꯥꯝꯕꯤ ꯍꯧꯕ ꯃꯐꯝꯁꯦ ꯎ ꯍꯧꯕꯁꯦ ꯃꯐꯝꯁꯤ 100ꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ 30-40ꯒꯤ ꯆꯥꯡ ꯈꯛꯇꯪ ꯉꯥꯏꯔꯝꯒꯅꯤ ꯑꯌꯥꯝꯕ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯔꯦ ꯂꯣꯏꯕꯩꯗꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅꯅꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯥ ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯗ꯭ꯔꯥꯏꯚ ꯇꯧꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁꯇ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯎ ꯊꯥꯕꯒꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯒ꯭ꯔꯤꯟ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯤꯁꯟ ꯃꯊꯪ ꯇꯧꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯄꯣꯄꯤ ꯌꯥꯟꯊꯠꯂꯕ ꯃꯐꯝꯁꯤꯡꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯜꯇꯔꯅꯦꯇꯤꯚ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯥꯟꯒꯤ ꯑꯜꯇꯔꯅꯦꯇꯤꯚ ꯑꯦꯔꯦꯟꯖꯃꯦꯟꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯣꯏꯗ ꯄꯤꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯔꯛꯏꯁꯦ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯃꯗꯨꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩ ꯁꯍꯖꯣꯛ ꯅꯤꯖꯔꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯁꯄꯣꯔꯠ ꯅꯤꯖꯔꯤ ꯃꯁꯤꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯩ ꯅꯍꯥꯟꯁꯨ NECꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯇꯤꯡꯗ ꯑꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯖꯕꯅꯤ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯄꯣꯄꯤ ꯌꯥꯟꯊꯠꯂꯤꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤ ꯎ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯗꯤꯁꯇ꯭ꯔꯣꯏ ꯇꯧꯈ꯭ꯔꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯁꯦ ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯔꯤꯄ꯭ꯂꯦꯁ ꯇꯧꯅꯅꯕ ꯃꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯐꯟꯗꯤꯡ ꯄꯤꯌꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯑꯩ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯁꯣꯏꯗꯅ ꯃꯤꯅꯤꯁꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯗꯒꯤꯁꯨ ꯐꯪꯒꯅꯦꯅ ꯑꯩ ꯈꯟꯖꯩ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯁꯤ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯃꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯖꯣꯏꯟꯂꯤ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯃꯤꯟꯅꯁꯤ ꯃꯔꯨꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯆꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯕꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯂꯤꯗꯔꯁꯤꯡ ꯅꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯃꯥꯡ ꯊꯥꯕꯤꯔꯒ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯨꯊꯣꯛꯆꯔꯤꯕ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯤꯝ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯏꯜꯂꯒ ꯇꯧꯕꯤꯅꯕ ꯑꯩ ꯃꯁꯤꯃ ꯑꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯖꯅꯤꯡꯉꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯁꯣꯝꯒꯤ ꯔꯣꯠ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯂꯣꯏꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯦꯁꯤꯐꯤꯛ ꯀꯣꯏꯁꯟꯗ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯤꯔꯣ ꯍꯌꯦꯡ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯃꯤꯅꯤꯁꯇꯔꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯦ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯍꯌꯦꯡ ꯑꯩ ꯋꯤꯠ ꯐꯣꯇꯣꯒ꯭ꯔꯥꯐꯔꯒꯤ ꯑꯩ ꯈꯨꯝꯖꯔꯅꯤ ꯃꯗꯨꯃ ꯑꯩ ꯊꯝꯖꯔꯒꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯒꯤ ꯑꯜꯐ꯭ꯔꯦꯗꯀꯤ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔ ꯑꯜꯐ꯭ꯔꯦꯗꯀꯤꯁꯦ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯁꯦꯟꯁꯤꯇꯤቭ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯏꯁꯨ ꯉꯥꯛꯇꯅꯤ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯗ ꯑꯩ ꯑꯔꯥꯏꯕ ꯍꯥꯟꯅ ꯑꯩ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯇꯧꯒꯦ ꯆꯨꯝꯃꯦ 45,000 ꯃꯨꯛ ꯁꯨꯕꯅꯤ ꯃꯄꯥꯟꯗꯒꯤ ꯂꯥꯛꯀꯕ ꯔꯤꯇꯔꯅꯤꯁ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯟꯗꯨꯗ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯗꯨ ꯈꯛꯇꯅꯤ 23,000 ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯜꯂꯤꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯕꯁꯇ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟꯅ ꯂꯥꯛꯆꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯐ꯭ꯂꯥꯏꯠꯇ ꯂꯥꯛꯄ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯥꯛꯄ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯒꯗꯤ 45,000 ꯌꯧꯕꯅꯤ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯃꯦꯟꯇꯦꯟ ꯇꯧꯅꯕ ꯃꯦꯅꯦꯖ ꯇꯧꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯕ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ MLAꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯀꯦꯟꯗ꯭ꯔꯗ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯇꯧꯈꯤꯕ ꯃꯔꯨꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯇꯝꯗꯨꯗ ꯀ꯭ꯋꯥꯔꯟꯇꯥꯏꯟ ꯁꯦꯟꯇꯔꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯔꯤꯍꯦꯕꯤꯂꯤꯇꯦꯁꯟ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯇꯧꯈꯤꯕꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯑꯉꯛꯄ ꯄꯨꯔꯝꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯩ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯖꯣꯏꯟ ꯏꯐꯣꯔꯠꯅꯤ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯉꯝꯃꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯑꯦꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯁꯤꯌꯦꯠ ꯇꯧꯏ ꯃꯔꯨꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯆꯤꯡꯒꯤꯁꯤꯡ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯋꯥꯅ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯈꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯎꯈ꯭ꯔꯨꯜꯒ ꯁꯦꯅꯥꯄꯇꯤ ꯇꯃꯦꯡꯂꯣꯡ ꯑꯍꯨꯝꯁꯤ ꯃꯤ ꯃꯁꯤꯡ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯃꯄꯥꯟꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯕ ꯏꯚꯟ ꯆꯨꯔꯆꯥꯟꯄꯨꯔ ꯃꯤ ꯃꯁꯤꯡ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯕ ꯃꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯕꯗ ꯎꯈ꯭ꯔꯨꯜꯒꯤ ꯈꯛꯇꯗ 4,000ꯃꯨꯛꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯗꯨꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯁꯤꯗꯩꯗ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯤꯁꯁꯤꯗ ꯌꯥꯎꯗ꯭ꯔꯒꯁꯨ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯤꯁꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯚꯣꯂꯨꯝ ꯁꯣꯏꯗꯅꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯔꯒꯁꯨ ꯂꯤꯁ ꯌꯥꯎꯗ꯭ꯔꯒꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯄꯥꯟꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯑꯒ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤꯡꯁꯤ ꯀꯔꯝꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯔꯤꯍꯦꯕꯤꯂꯤꯇꯦꯠ ꯇꯧꯒꯗꯒꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯃꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯄꯤꯒꯗꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨ ꯀꯨꯞꯅ ꯈꯟꯅꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯥꯔꯠꯑꯞꯁꯤꯗꯩꯗ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯍꯨꯝ ꯊꯣꯛꯅ ꯈꯥꯏꯗꯣꯛꯑꯦ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯥꯔꯠꯑꯞ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯟꯗꯑꯞ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯣꯟꯒꯣꯌꯤꯡ ꯕꯤꯖꯤꯅꯦꯁꯇ ꯐꯥꯏꯅꯥꯟꯁꯤꯌꯦꯜ ꯑꯦꯁꯤꯁ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯑꯍꯨꯝꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯍꯨꯝꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯉꯩꯗꯗꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯒꯤ ꯆꯍꯤꯗ ꯄꯦꯟꯗꯦꯃꯤꯛ ꯊꯣꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯉꯩꯗꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯅꯣꯇꯤꯁꯁꯦ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯇꯪ ꯊꯣꯛꯑꯒ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠ 35ꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯅꯣꯏ ꯐꯣꯔꯝ ꯄꯤꯒꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯊꯥꯁꯤ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯅꯣꯏ ꯐꯣꯔꯝ ꯄꯤꯒꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯣꯖ ꯇꯧꯔꯝꯃꯦꯕ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯇꯤ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯑꯦꯅꯤꯕꯣꯗꯤ ꯆꯍꯤ ꯑꯃ ꯆꯍꯤ ꯆꯨꯞꯄꯁꯤ ꯑꯦꯅꯤꯕꯣꯗꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯥꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯏꯕ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯑꯣꯔ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯤꯜꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯣ ꯅꯪ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯟꯁ꯭ꯀꯤꯜ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯎꯏ ꯍꯥꯏ ꯏꯚꯟ ꯑꯟꯁ꯭ꯀꯤꯜ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯒꯁꯨ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯒ꯭ꯔꯨꯞꯄꯤꯡ ꯁꯦꯝꯖꯔꯒ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯥꯒꯤꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯨꯔꯣ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯥꯒꯤ ꯒ꯭ꯔꯨꯞ ꯑꯃ ꯍꯥꯡꯖꯒꯦꯕꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯁꯨ ꯅꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯒ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯃꯦꯁꯦꯖꯀꯤꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯣ ꯃꯦꯁꯦꯖꯀꯤ ꯒ꯭ꯔꯨꯞ ꯑꯃ ꯍꯥꯡꯖꯒꯦꯕꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯁꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕꯒꯤ ꯐꯦꯁꯤꯂꯤꯇꯦꯠ ꯇꯧꯅꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯒꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯥꯔꯠꯑꯞꯁꯦ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯦꯅꯤ ꯇꯥꯏꯝꯗ ꯑꯦꯄ꯭ꯂꯤꯀꯦꯁꯟ ꯄꯤꯕ ꯌꯥꯅꯤ ꯃꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯊꯤꯡꯉꯦ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯂꯣꯏꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯩꯇꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯗꯅ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯤꯝ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯊꯝꯃꯦꯔꯒ ꯑꯇꯩ ꯁꯤꯁꯤ ꯑꯕꯗꯤ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯤꯝ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯊꯛꯇꯅꯤꯀꯣ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯥꯏꯝ ꯃꯤꯅꯤꯁꯇꯔꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯤꯝ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯤꯝꯁꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯁꯤꯃꯗꯤ ꯏꯁꯄꯤꯁꯤꯌꯦꯜꯂꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔꯅ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯀꯟꯁꯔꯟ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯔꯤꯇꯔꯟꯁ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯗꯅ ꯔꯤꯍꯦꯕꯤꯂꯤꯇꯦꯠ ꯇꯧꯒꯗꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯆꯍꯤ ꯆꯨꯞꯄ ꯕꯤꯜ ꯊꯥꯔꯒ ꯂꯩꯔꯒ ꯄꯩꯁꯥꯁꯨ ꯃꯅꯤ ꯏꯁ ꯑꯣꯜꯔꯦꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯕꯖꯦꯠꯇ 48 crores ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯍꯥꯞꯄꯒ ꯂꯩꯌꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯗꯨꯗꯩꯗ ꯑꯦꯅꯤ ꯇꯥꯏꯝ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯒ꯭ꯔꯨꯞꯄꯤꯡ ꯁꯦꯝꯃꯒ ꯇꯧꯕꯤꯕ ꯌꯥꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯁꯤꯗꯩꯗ ꯁꯥꯡꯃꯟꯕꯒꯤ ꯗꯤꯇꯦꯜꯁ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯍꯥꯞꯄꯗꯨ ꯆꯟꯗꯕꯒꯤ ꯍꯥꯞꯇꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯑꯩ ꯃꯗꯨꯃ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔꯗ ꯊꯝꯖꯒꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯁꯦꯀꯦꯟꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯇꯣꯅꯣꯃꯁ ꯗꯤꯁꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯛ ꯀꯥꯎꯟꯁꯤꯜꯒꯤꯁꯤ ꯌꯦꯁ ꯃꯦꯟꯗꯦꯇꯔꯤꯅꯤ ꯒ꯭ꯔꯥꯁꯔꯨꯠ ꯂꯦꯚꯦꯜꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯗꯦꯃꯣꯀ꯭ꯔꯦꯇꯤꯛ ꯁꯦꯠꯑꯞ ꯀꯜꯍꯟꯕ ꯌꯥꯔꯣꯏ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟ ꯍꯦꯁ ꯑꯣꯜꯔꯦꯗꯤ ꯔꯤꯀꯣꯃꯦꯟꯗꯦꯠ ꯀꯦꯕꯤꯅꯦꯠ ꯍꯦꯁ ꯑꯣꯜꯔꯦꯗꯤ ꯔꯤꯀꯣꯃꯦꯟꯗꯦꯠ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯏꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯀꯣꯚꯤꯗ ꯄꯦꯟꯗꯥꯃꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯤ ꯁꯤꯆꯨꯋꯦꯁꯟ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯏꯂꯦꯛꯁꯟ ꯀꯃꯤꯁꯟꯗ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯄꯤꯌꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯅꯗꯤ ꯑꯣꯜꯔꯦꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯀꯦꯕꯤꯅꯦꯠ ꯑꯦꯄ꯭ꯔꯨꯚꯦꯜ ꯄꯤꯖꯈ꯭ꯔꯕꯅꯤ ꯁꯤꯃ ꯑꯩ ꯍꯥꯎꯁꯇ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯁꯨ ꯊꯥꯖꯒꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯍꯣꯏ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯥꯔꯇꯤꯀꯜ 371(c)ꯒꯤ ꯁꯤꯗꯩꯗ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯕꯖꯦꯠ ꯁꯦꯝꯕ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯑꯗꯥ ꯇꯧꯕꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯗꯨꯃꯛꯇ ꯗꯤꯇꯦꯜ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯤꯆꯁꯤꯗꯃꯛ ꯄꯟꯗ꯭ꯔꯒꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯖꯒꯥ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛꯇ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯕ꯭ꯂꯣꯛ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯦ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯐꯪꯁꯟ ꯇꯧꯍꯟꯅꯕ ꯕ꯭ꯂꯣꯛ 94 ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯅꯤ ꯕ꯭ꯂꯣꯛ 94 ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯋꯥꯛ ꯇꯧꯍꯟꯅꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯔꯦꯗꯤꯗ ꯁꯦꯝ ꯁꯥꯔꯒ 27 ꯕ꯭ꯂꯣꯛꯁꯤ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯐꯪꯁꯟ ꯇꯧꯍꯜꯂꯒ ꯒ꯭ꯔꯥꯁꯔꯨꯠꯇ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯊꯕꯛꯁꯤꯡꯁꯤ ꯇꯧꯍꯟꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯚꯤꯖꯟ ꯗꯣꯀꯨꯃꯦꯟ 2030ꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯁꯨ ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯔꯣꯗ ꯃꯦꯞꯇ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯅ꯭ꯌꯨ ꯗꯤꯕꯂꯞꯃꯦꯟ ꯕ꯭ꯂꯣꯛ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯂꯣꯏꯁꯤꯜꯂꯒ BDO ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯛ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗꯨ ꯊꯝꯃꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯐꯪꯁꯟ ꯇꯧꯍꯟꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯍꯤꯜꯒꯤ ꯑꯦꯔꯤꯌꯥꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯥꯏꯌꯣꯔꯤꯇꯤ ꯄꯤ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯁꯤꯗꯩꯗ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯗꯤꯇꯦꯜꯁ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗꯨ ꯍꯥꯞꯄ ꯌꯥꯗꯕꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯇꯧꯗꯕꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯅꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯆꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯑꯦꯔꯤꯌꯥꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯥꯏꯈꯠꯂꯤꯕ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯀꯣꯟꯁꯇꯤꯇ꯭ꯌꯨꯁꯅꯦꯜꯂꯤ ꯃꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯁꯤꯁꯇꯦꯝꯗꯨ ꯆꯠꯍꯟꯅꯤꯡꯉꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯁꯤꯁꯇꯦꯝꯁꯤ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯁꯗꯟꯂꯤ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯍꯣꯡꯕ ꯌꯥꯗꯕꯒꯤꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯟꯅꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯆꯍꯤ 30, 40, 50 ꯁꯨꯝ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯅꯤꯅ ꯁꯗꯟꯂꯤ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯆꯦꯟꯖ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯑꯦꯗꯞ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯌꯥꯗꯕꯒꯤꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯁꯣꯏꯗꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯇꯧꯍꯟꯅꯤꯡꯉꯤꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯁꯤꯡꯗꯨ ꯇꯧꯅꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔꯒꯤꯗꯨ ꯊꯝꯒꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯨꯜꯒꯤꯗꯨ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔꯅꯁꯨ ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯈꯪꯕꯤꯔꯝꯃꯅꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯨꯜ 4,000 ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯑꯦꯕꯖꯣꯔꯕ ꯇꯧꯔꯦ ꯑꯦꯕꯖꯣꯔꯕ ꯇꯧꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯦꯕꯖꯣꯔꯕ ꯇꯧꯈ꯭ꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯇꯩ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯁꯤꯡꯗꯨ ꯀꯗꯥꯏꯗ ꯂꯩꯍꯧꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯟꯅꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯨꯔꯝꯃꯤꯕꯁꯤꯡꯗꯨ ꯍꯥꯡꯉꯒ ꯂꯩꯍꯧꯔꯦ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯍꯥꯞꯆꯤꯜꯂꯒ ꯋꯥꯠꯂꯤꯁꯦ ꯍꯥꯞꯁꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯐꯥꯏꯅꯥꯟꯁꯤꯌꯦꯜ ꯀꯣꯟꯁꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯟꯠ ꯀꯔꯤꯁꯤ ꯀꯨꯞꯅ ꯈꯟꯅꯔ ꯂꯩꯔꯒꯁꯨ ꯐꯥꯏꯅꯥꯟꯁꯤꯌꯦꯜ ꯀꯣꯟꯁꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯟꯠ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯒꯁꯨ ꯇꯉꯥꯏ ꯐꯗꯕ ꯐꯪꯁꯅꯦꯕꯜ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯂꯦꯚꯦꯜ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯏꯆ ꯑꯦꯟड ꯑꯦꯚ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯗꯤꯄꯥꯔꯠꯃꯦꯟꯠ focusing mainly on education and health
ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤꯡꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯐꯪꯁꯟ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯌꯥꯕ ꯂꯦꯚꯦꯜꯗ ꯔꯤꯀ꯭ꯔꯨꯠꯃꯦꯟ ꯇꯧꯁꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯚꯦꯀꯦꯟꯁꯤ ꯄꯣꯁꯁꯤꯡꯁꯦ ꯃꯦꯟꯈꯠꯁꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕꯒꯤ ꯑꯟꯗꯔꯁꯇꯦꯟꯗꯤꯡ ꯑꯃ ꯌꯥꯅꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯐꯥꯎꯗ ꯑꯦꯕꯖꯣꯔꯕ ꯇꯧꯈ꯭ꯔꯤꯁꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ 4,000ꯃꯨꯛꯅꯤ 3,406 ꯅꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ 784 ꯅꯦ ꯇꯧꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯄꯣꯠꯇꯨꯃ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯑꯩ ꯑꯣꯅꯔꯦꯕꯜ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔꯗ ꯊꯝꯖꯒꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ tourism masi is the only way to economically viable or economically developed or binding force masi amani achuba duga koi income generator bugisu I have seen and everyone have seen the progress the crowd koi Shiroida Ugre, Sandabani, Amerikagi, the band, any Umlaga Togi, but Yam Luris Quiki state financial budget, Sigi Ama Equina Hana Yalaga Tamudo. Halber, I know Sayam, the Pesakam, the Sanga the Gayam, Togu the Gayski Sapsabudu, Madu to Hudaba, Aduna, Mamangi, financially, Kitna Equida. Awa ke adu manage songna bud kuji honari adu hujikki handaki sidi pandemic ne karina adu budi handaki sahi am jibudi me ne yare adu matunga is very important I note it haiba festival singsi Orange festival wagera Shanghai festival wagera Shiroi gi wagera Baraki wagera or pineapples wagera whatever shigi labor singsi international level thak focus be the international tourism hana singkhatnaba aduga akhoi leidiba state sigi saktakpudu su yam komba aduga financial se akhoi yum na homestay kayam kanagi aduga mayam nu experience leiramina akhoi mathangdadi madu khara hena digi pandemic ke silaraga khara hena na tongna bodu bodu ai Togzage, and hide me am details in a happy other boogie one year ago. I could point the in a focus with a money. Again, Mana GSDP is this later copy pang German copy of the GSDP at current price, GSDP at constant price. Masi finance ki matam deba. When tobira ba, wadugo onamu member ki copy se pijega. Se da hek roina punmuduk natai sata bagi pandeme se bani ko ina jebus. Adagi mana hujiki kanu kidu festival kidu ai hajre tourist kidu Misu yam thakpi sumi yam thakpi khazani amumuk lakpa kansi madu gi receipt bagi chana bagi tawna bagi yam kana khazani madu khara sober scale am tawna madu mai khona adu hosiki limitation ki se khoi state gi oina khoi yam clear oi re khoi committee sem khra limitation committee gi sem dana khoi member kari gi thakra bani adu marakta honorable member mani ma gi personnel do sada ba khara de khoi resign to ga harap gi atopa member replace to being part of the constitutional canoni procedure Madrid Quina Tinguba Holubudu, Kushunaiba Tobunati Kenogi Hoi suspension of operation she Pasagi High Gibam Sume, Hunter the Shoe Moneda Goktoe. I being in charge of home. I other direct worries are the suspension operation she ground rules in force of the ground rule moina channel or the battle talk the word of the machine. We are going to talk to us guy stage bagi of now other instruction akan balakre uji some talk matik torgalakoni conclusion later talk se matik torme hujina IB director gi level the sai ado si thatur group sangtu gala November, this November,
sigi tarik mapan hobo subject to correction sibok sang to ogo laibani suspension operation ki sindu ki se namasi yangi athu bodal lo shinna bai ne khoi am kana pressure dawri aduna hujikti khoi loina mayam da khoi instruction dawre noted nungdir adu da kaim da we are designated camp that this will be confined in the designated camp and the ground rule hack violate already madu khoi suspension operation review to wa ne to na du gi akanda khoi step local le da mai khamjage aduga sagi kaino gi do naga civil UNC ga district hong bagi district masing hegat pagi hegat tabgi khana bada wari sathar me khoi last 2019 ba khoi ar chalaga senapati chalaga dum wari dum continue sai adu madu dai da mathang tarik ama longner ga wari sachi hairga wari usi phawa fix tokdri adu next time ama conducive atmosphere ama yenga kanda fix toroga sagadu mali wari sabgi stage da iri haidana maina honorable member thamjage aduga naga tokse akhoi budi dahunde se government na yawge na haire si mamang government ge hakta pe khangal lo na khangande hujik khangande da koi part ama sunate sidadi yam kan khoi ngang budi haibadi ngamde but adubu ai khoi state sigi ba solagadi state sigi ba tawrogade khoi state khangan gadabani state khangan na decision lo yaro haibadi decision de khoi dum thami naga talks peacefully settled talk giva hai koi punamaki apambani akoi punamaki kainoni aduga sida manipur da leiriba congress hoigera or bjp hoigera or npf hoigera khu leiriba kangusha naga talk si loisalage ba matam da loisana sunga moy leiriba manamdi indictee anigi nsn im haiba lao group amaga भारत सरकार का सानब वारी होइबनिना अदि खोइ यावलमसु फबा मोइनसु खोइसु यावहन्दबा खोइ मदुगी पोलिटिकली पार्टी मना खोइ ngannaba tawni हायरबा ngamnaba tawro हायरबा अदुना मागी पोलिटिकली लेजरेको अदो अदुमंगना खोइना मदु खोइगी केनो ओइना खोइगी रुल्स ओइना न नियम ओइना खोइना मदु नोइ अदु याब्रान हायरुबदु दे खोइ हक लेतबनिना अदुना भारत सरकार का चथरिबा टोक्सी खोइ एबु खोइ गवर्नमेंट साइड के जो खोइ am thuna masi peacefully यानाबा मा पुबिरागा थुना लोइसनबियो हाइबा पोतु दे खोइ अदुम थम्मी थमजु थमगिनी हाइदना ए ऑनरेबल मेंबर इनफॉर्म थमजगे दुना हाइदिबा खरा जी सेटोक सरगा ए ऑनरेबल मेंबर कुना मके रिक्वेस्ट जगे कैनोसु खोइ once I repeat sagi yamna voluminous oiba time constraint leba khotuna loina detail A to Z loina hapa mayamna pambiriba mayamda appreciate tawi adu loina hapngamdabagi haptamni aduna aina khara sendokse revisoroga nagumma kana gumbi pendaba details one by one khangbiningba duma leirana sumna general discussion gi adagi department wise mathang lakidamina aduda khudong sablobiyo aduna yaraga kat motion si kat haisa akoi amendment singsi pukat pira withdraw to biraga haiba honorable governor ki speech one voice the cannot win pass win by na honorable speaker I request of ma'am
honorable leader of the house na stand thambira bunina hoi abirego kanu
honorable chief minister na thambi da clarification na haige da kitang thamjage ba thank you sir yam noizare khoi su khangi sa yam no thaba la ring masi dum sarkar si kuina kanu to na laawani na du yam phajana sengdok pi gre ai pun ani khakta rangasai gi kui thabak hapa haiba tare sarkar na thabak hapa khotpa to busda madu rimba sum haina khotna ba oi oira basu yae dubu tawdi tawre haidana su evidence aduga madugi pamal leitragadi heta khoina haiba su yapana te dubu honorable minister na madu khoi baral leiba sing du tang pap mateng pangnara phasi haibiyoni na ai am thuna ai praman galo na ai pau bijara ke adu mobile di pak pak pai bi do ni landline da to ba ke adu ada sima thamjag ani subada sar kaino ne yamna kari haini issue mayam da thalaba manipur sida honorable chief minister moru bire koi honorable leader opposition leader ma khar koi ahing tum yam lo min na rakhi adu politics habis tambangam de matam ni rik chahi mari fazal le adugumba monorama gi yamna kaino oiba yamna sok oiba adugumba wathok tu da lawmin gi ba taw gi ba matam du sarkar na law gi be tu yenga lo endo da khar phagal habis di ai shu dum isa yai adu matam du gi thauna do mang do no u se ngo nungai ta ba tai adu no su gi adagi ama NSN gi port hairaga su hujikti madu settle to boy agi port to sule aduna aina sai haibadu su loina mak manipuri mafam khuding to thok pa haibadu di akhai su ai mak su ning de adu bat to bu sai gi lo thok ro segment tare sigi even honorable chief minister hanja da praman to je haingang mak to thok pa yare nang bu mayam dai gi lamsang gi lo thok pa yare adagi pasoi yare paman gi wadi even lilong yare yam nak adu chahi di sum tam di loisle do chahi mamang gi 2004 gi thona do hanbi da amtang masi matam je da de khardang lo thok biu se gi governor gi address da hap si gi wadi da thank you sir ai jara
Oh, sir. Huziki si amendment si di debate na tabani na ID rules ang angjabane ba. Haibdi rules ta dum yawni. Insertion or addition. Adu di dum yabane ba. Aigi si di debate sunate is not against the ngasai karo the government sunate. ID walhuba in the interest of the public. See some words and some sentence. Si era wo si dum yabane ba rules dum yeng biyo ba. Aigi si di lawmi ki se especially sahi amada kharif and rabi have a portion si round the year si sina si tangai for the belabinina crop amakan bayaroi haibine ba aduna si just insert to you point no kha habidu kasi hausi yare ha khalore this is not against the anything is just within the the rules ta dum labine ba adu sum hapa yai haiga lawmi singi kai interest to promote things hajabudo in thajabasi production of rabi crops will also be promoted natraga was also permitted bu hairesu will also be permitted bu hairesu insert to you haibinida haibidi khari phakta haire adigi rabi ji happy opposition haibidi sunga yaro hairedi khangdri ai ji sum mayam gi puta haidika lebak sigi haitar state sigi lawmi singi interest happy si so that they will be happy the farmers will be happy adagi the round the year sida laiba robi gi adagi kedogi kharki laibi si amas dhan biroi si hai
kedogi honorable member aina thamjani di by convention governor gi kanu se si amendment
yeah bani rules laibi
amendment tawusi by convention tawna
tawna rules laibi ain hai se rule laibi
kedogi
insert to yaban
isam sama kanogi manipur assembly gi history da taw bisu laitri bani madu taw adi atu hen kanogi agriculture gi labu da
fajana nain da ta han yabra yada yabani
fajana nain da madu da awara pa tawsi
debate nate soi hai bisu nate adi convention da laite hai bisu yaroi si rule da laijabani insert to have neither sentence in the interest of the farmers. These farmers is not for only ruling party, not only for also for the opposition. See, for all of us, I quite put the interest the low missing happy having
honorable member Kido, I'm not canoe. We pull losing with the labor interest having adu by convention and then Tona Davana. Masi Hayan Kanugi. Agriculture ki thupun mitu da takat piro lo aizu saki ene awara pam ting pang jerege ga ada dia biro thank you yes sir
Speaker sir, the honorable chief minister said I just want to say a few points. The honorable governor's address is based on the most important topics of the state. So if we feel that some agendas are left out, which is of utmost importance to the state, then as members of this August House, we are obligated to raise before this August House for consideration and for amendment. It is because the rules of law allow for amendment, sir, that we have brought this before your presence. Speaker, sir, it is regretted, extremely regretted. I extremely regret that the government of Manipur is not taking, as per my request, paragraph 3, 7 and 8, these are of utmost importance, and these three, if the government of Manipur says that, they are considering or this, then I fail to say that I completely and I utterly regret. It is with deep regret that I express before this House that it is actually not fair. What I have said is all based on rule of law, and that is why, if it can be incorporated in the statement of the Honorable Governor, it is because the law provides that we can make our statements and the statements can be changed. This has happened in the Parliament too. In the first Parliament of the country also it happened when the Honorable President made his address. So the Governor's and President's addresses of utmost importance, Speaker, sir. If it is just convention and if it is just for them, we would not have even brought forward anything. I would really not have. I have brought this forward, Honorable Speaker, sir, because I feel that rule of law prevails in a democracy. And you are the custodian, Speaker, sir. As you are the custodian, if these factors are not important enough, then the government of the day can say that no, it is not of importance to us and we will not be inserting. But if they feel that it is important enough, then it deserves to be inserted as statements of the Honorable Governor. Speaker, sir, the Honorable Chief Minister has said that due to the financial crunch, with regard to the teacher, I have to clarify this point, Speaker. Financial crunch, sir, this has nothing to do with the state government. This is 100% sponsored by the Government of India. So those posts have fallen vacant now, 4,000. So those 4,000 posts after the 23rd of July 2020, they have fallen vacant. When we have no teachers in the hills, all the teachers have been utilized here and there, here and there. You have the opportunity to recruit 4,000 teachers under the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, and you are not recruiting. So I would like to bring forth the Honorable Chief Minister through my Honorable Speaker that it is not going to affect the exchequer of the state, as this is a totally centrally sponsored program. Speaker, sir, ending my request, this protected Naga peace talk, sir, it is of importance. It affects everybody, sir. It does affect. And with courage, I would like the Honorable Leader of the House to address this issue and say that yes, this House will recommend that the talks be concluded at the earliest possible time so that total peace can prevail. Sir, we cannot deny that so many areas in Manipur fall within the zone of what the group is demanding. So many areas of Manipur. How can I deny? How can you deny that Mao is not part of Manipur or Tamenung is not part of Manipur? And the demands of this particular group is covering all these areas. So they are all citizens of this state. This is why I say we have to address this issue. And earlier we addressed this.
House home that sisters.
Speaker, sir, if you insist, because you have always been kind and you have always kept the rule of law, I would still like to insist that the statement of the Honorable Governor can always be changed if it is to the within the confines of rule of law and to the wishes of this August House. Thank you, Speaker, sir.
Yeah, by convention, amend the way the honorable members in the withdraw to again Taurena Lozerage. Aduga Makazana Honorable Leader of the House of Statement Hamir Habrina Hauzik, Mosanasi adopt Tono Lakochaba Huzerge, Mosanasi adopt over the House Yabirabra. House Yabirabna Mosanasi Patoksage that the members of the Manipur Legislative Assembly assembled in the session are deeply grateful to the Governor for the address which she has been pleased to deliver to this House on 3rd February 2021. Masi adopt Yazare. When Aroiba announcement number Togzage, COVID na Lagidaba, point upon how we have Lagidasingi, Mahamba, Sadanjali Poina, Amatang, Lepaga, Sagi, Pratna to Minasi, and Namda, the request of Jerry. Thank you. Ngasi gidi Venus dogre adon house si haying paimwa thani in lising 2021 ida inuti ay pung tara mo baba 8000